What's up, everybody? This episode of the podcast is brought to you by We Print Wraps. We Print Wraps is the wrap industry's #1 source for wholesale printed wraps. They offer free nationwide shipping all across the U.S. and Canada. Go to WePrintWraps.com today. Okay, folks, welcome to the All Wrapped Up podcast. If you're new to this show, I've been a weekly listener. Thank you for tuning in and supporting the show. As you know, I don't ask for much, but I appreciate it if you left your feedback and a 5-star rating on any platform that you're listening to. It really helps us out in getting the word out about the industry. And don't forget, if you find value in the content, subscribe and tell a friend. And now here's a brand new episode of All Wrapped Up with Mark Bonamici from Vrd Customs. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to All Wrapped Up podcast. We'll be interviewing industry-leading wrap companies to share tips, tricks, stories, and more. All right, so we'll go live. We've got Mark Bonamici from Vrd Customs. What's going on, brother?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Absolutely. No, it's an honor. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been following you on Instagram, man. You got some cool projects going on. Love your vibe, what you're doing. You kind of dabble a little bit with the commercial and the color change industry, which is great, man.
Yeah, we try to grab all aspects of anything vinyl, honestly. That's really our go-to, you know?
Definitely. How much of the industry, do you sway more on the commercial side or the color change side?
You know, I get asked that a lot. And my answer is kind of, if I had to be honest, is probably almost 50-50.
Really?
But maybe like 60% on color change and then like 40% on commercial graphics.
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah.
'Cause usually it's the other way. The commercial side is usually the bigger end of the spectrum.
Yeah, usually it is. But I mean, this is kind of just the way it's fallen, you know, for us. We've kind of just been half and half. Sometimes when we got nothing going on with color change, we kind of have a bunch of stuff going on with the commercial.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's vice versa, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. And if, you know, for our listeners, you're on the East Coast, you're in Connecticut. We're basically neighbors here.
Yeah, absolutely.
In New England. So given that we're in the New England, we get to see all the fun sides of the weather, all 4 seasons, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah, that's the right answer.
How do you deal with that?
Oh, with the cold weather?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's coming in now, which is pretty disappointing. It seems so soon already.
Right.
Yeah, really, you know, we have, good heating and good air conditioning in our facility. So the seasons are not too bad when it comes to getting work done in the shop. But bringing the work in, usually in the winter, it gets a little bit tougher come, post SEMA. Yeah. But, it really depends. We try to book as much as we can ahead of time to really stay ahead of the schedule. So we at least know what we got going on, you know?
For sure. And as far as like your regimen for like the snowy times, do you like to try to get the cars in the day before so they thaw out and all that good stuff?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Once it starts snowing, we usually try to get them in there at least a day ahead of time. 'Cause man, when they're cold, they're tough, you know. We usually let them sit in the facility for at least a day. We try to clean them once we bring them in.
Right.
And then we just let them sit, you know.
That's crazy. Now your demographic in your area, given that you do a lot of the restyling part of it, is that what you kind of levitated more to as far as your business?
You know, it's hard to say because our area it's busy on both sides. That's kind of, I think, why we're 50-50. We go to a lot of car shows, and that's where we grab a lot of business from, when it comes to the color change side. But locally, we try to work with like everybody and anybody we can, in our area and in town. So it kind of keeps things going on both ends. We're always pushing, you know, you're always looking for work, always trying to grab something, something you really got to stay on top of in this business. At least it is for us. You know?
For sure. Is it a little bit, I don't want to say saturated, but every state's got, you know, more sign shops or wrap shops in the areas. How's your area as far as the game?
So sign shops, yes, there's a lot. If you ask me, there's a good handful of sign shops within our area. Full wrap shops, kind of like what we do. I don't really know too many within our area. The closest one I really know of is probably within like 45 minutes away from us. So that's a good gap.
Yeah. That's what, maybe like 30 miles.
Yeah, probably somewhere around that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, that's good for you.
Oh yeah, it's good for us. We're not your typical sign shop. You know, I don't do a lot of signs. I mean, if I can print out on vinyl and I could stick it on, whether it was plexiglass or aluminum or anything like that, we do it. You know, we do walls, you know, we do floors. We do all of that too, windows, retail windows, stuff like that. But we don't consider ourselves a sign shop because I don't build signs. I'm not really, we're busy enough with, that aspect when it comes to cars. And then we do a lot of interior work and walls and things like that for all the dealerships and stuff around us. So, you know, we don't consider ourselves a sign shop. And, you know, I have to say the sign shops around us, their wrapping skills when it comes to vehicles are not very good.
Yeah.
You know, they're not very good. That was one of the biggest reasons why I even opened up my own place.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that kind of, if I had to say a local place kind of triggered me, to really get into it.
Oh man, I can't wait to get into that story. But usually how we set it up in the beginning, I like to, kind of warm up with some projects, what you got going on at the shop. And, you know, it's early in the week, so, we can talk about maybe what you ended last week with, for jobs and, kind of just talk about what you did.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Right now we're just finishing up, these fleet of Priuses that we had to do. We had some brand new Priuses that we did full print, full color change on it, custom printed graphics. So I literally just finished before this conversation. I just finished up the last one. And that was really like my whole week last week was working on these, Priuses. So I've been doing the same job over and over. So I just finished that up. And that's all the stuff that we do. We do all the design work. We do all the printing, the laminating, and then the installation here. At the moment, we got a truck in here. We're doing a livery on, a Dodge. We have an R8 that just came in that we have to do a full expel stealth on. And we have a 350Z that we're doing a, 3M deep space color change on. So we got a busy week ahead of us.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. So you got a little bit of everything in there, huh?
Yeah. We kind of, you know, we dabble in as much as we can, you know, whatever's going to come in the door, whatever we're promoting. We do sales. We try to do sales like regularly, but with all different topics, whether it was chrome deletes or roof wraps or color change or home wraps. So we're always pushing. To get people to get in the door, you know.
What are you doing different that, you know, your competition or other people around, might not be doing as far as like the sales? Do you like the one-on-one, the, you know, walking into some other shop or talking to someone direct about it and kind of talking to them? Or do you like the cold call, send flyers?
You know, we don't do a lot of cold calls at all. We get most of our work, like I said earlier, we go to a lot of car shows, especially during the car season. Every weekend we're out there talking to people, grabbing phone numbers. That's really what I do. I kind of get what they're looking for, get their information. I usually wait until I have a sale going on or, you know, a week before I kind of catch up with them. And that's sort of how I bring my work in on that side. Locally, we go to, obviously, as many businesses as we can around here to just introduce ourselves, let them know what we offer. We don't try to book work. We just kind of introduce ourselves and let them know who we are.
Right.
You know, and I think that seems to have panned out, well for doing some retail windows and things like that for the local community businesses, you know.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Getting out there, hitting the pavement a little bit. Now, do you do that maybe like once a week or a couple times a month? Do you kind of
a couple times a month.
Yeah.
Yeah. A couple of times a month. Maybe like twice a month.
Nice.
We'll go out, you know, go to a bunch of places we haven't been, get as much as we can. At some point revisit the, you know, people we've visited already and see if there's anything we could do for them at that point, you know, once they know who we are. We just, you know, you just try to build connections and try to build relationships. And, I mean, that's how we found, at least with anyone around our area, to be the best way to just communicate and see what they can do for us and what we can do for them. And we just love collaborating with as many people as we can, around town. You know, it's nice to help and support, everybody in our area. You know, we all want to grow together.
Oh,
you know, that's how I look at it.
Definitely community based. That's going to be the best business because it's just constant. You know what I mean? I help you, you help me. We all help each other type of thing. It's nice when you can get out and do a little bit. You do a lot of like, cause I know a lot of communities will do like, small events in town, whether it be festivals or parades. Do you get involved in any of that as well?
We haven't yet. In the future, I'm sure we will with, different charitable events and things going on in town. We definitely will. We haven't yet though. Yeah. I will say that.
Yeah. That's always cool when you see like wrap companies with their trucks driving through, carrying the kids like in the back tailgate or stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's just always good. And it's just more eyeballs, you know what I mean, towards your brand and what you're doing, you know?
Absolutely. I mean, that's the marketing strategy, right? Is having that billboard.
Exactly. Exactly. Take me a little bit on this, this Prius, account that you had, just got, that you had these full wraps for. I've been seeing them on your Instagram like crazy. That's why I know I reached out. I was like, damn, how many of these things you guys doing? It's every day.
We had a little handful. Yeah, I know, you know, at some point I feel like you get sick of looking at them. You know, I keep doing the same thing over and over. This is for a pharmacy company that we did, that we're working with out in Bridgeport. He actually went to the local dealership here, the Toyota dealership, and we have a relationship with them. We try to work with all the dealerships around here, and they mentioned to him about doing vehicle wraps, and they were like, you know, VRD is the guys to go to around here to get things done. So you know, he was buying three new Priuses because I knew he had a couple already, and he needed 3 new ones, but you know, they were all different colors, and so the dealership called me up. We're like, hey, we're gonna send a guy over to you. Talk to him. You know, he's thinking about doing, you know, partial wrap or some lettering or something for his vehicle. So, you know, he came down. He's a very nice fellow. And, we started just talking, and I basically explained to him because he was having a hard time. They had like this last one I did is like this teal blue kind of. And, it's close to the color of his company's color scheme. It's not exactly the same, but he was like, oh, I think I'm going to get them all blue, but it's going to take forever. You know, because then we could just do stickers on it. And I'm like, honestly, it doesn't matter what color they are, because if you want, we could just wrap the whole thing. Then they all look the same. It doesn't really matter. Right. You know, and that really hit the mark with him, because he was like, all right, well, now I got a silver one, a gray one, a blue one. Doesn't matter. They got them all. I can take them now, you know, and that's really what, pitched him off, I think, because I don't know if he really realized that you could pretty much cover the whole thing up, and then that's it. You know? Right.
Which helps out the dealership too, because they get that quick sale.
Exactly. So they get all 3 cars on the lot are out of their possession now. Right. You know?
Right.
So that worked out for everybody. So we've just been cranking on these things, and, I tell you, I'm pretty glad to be done with this one, at least for now. Now.
You don't like the repetition, man? I think that's easy money. Once you get the first 1 or 2, you know, the next few are just, you don't even have to measure it. It's just like you already know where everything's supposed to land.
Oh yeah, no, I know, you know, but it's one of my things I would tell people, you know, this business is very, gratifying quickly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Opposed to some businesses. And that's one of the things that, you know, I enjoy most about it is just seeing the transformation, you know, and, with these Priuses, you know, we did all the design work on it. Took us about 3 days to finally come to a settlement with him with, you know, what he was looking for, what what we designed and kind of really hit the nail on the head.
Right.
With what he was happy with. So that took about 3 days and he didn't give me anything. He kind of, looked at our cars. He had his logo. He had his, free delivery, free hugs, his motto. And then he was like, these are my colors, red, blue, and that's it. And that's all he gave me. He's like, I don't want it to look like a commercial car though. So make it look like your Mercedes, but, commercially. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. I guess, So it was kind of a brainstorm at first because we really didn't know what he wanted as far as design. He really just left it up to us.
Right.
And, obviously I was taking into account, okay, well, I'm wrapping 3 of these and certain placement of letters and everything else I'm doing, what's going to make my job easier and quicker. So, we pretty much came up with that twin design where he's got one color is blue for his logo. The other color is red for his logo. And then it sort of all goes to white in the back where he's got on the sides, passenger and driver sides, where he actually has his logo with his company, which have the red and the blue, but on the white. So everything really tied in nicely, with the design. We definitely liked it. And, we've just been cranking them out, honestly.
Yeah. Super clean. I like the kind of, overlaid lettering in the background, the shadowed letters.
Yeah.
Super opaque. I love that. I had that on my personal truck as well with a bunch of services, and it just breaks up the whole scheme from just it being just a solid color,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what we were going for. Like I said, he looked at our cars and he just didn't want it to look too commercial.
Right.
And in the logo that he sent me, it was actually a folder that I guess somebody made for him, for his company. It was like a vector of a folder. And on the folder, one side was red, one side was blue, and it had all these wordings. It said trustworthy. It had like all of his company's sort of, I guess what they like about their company, trustworthy, all these words. So I really that's kind of what sort of triggered my design aspect when I had nothing to work with. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take this whole thing here and I'm going to just slap it on the car and then just go from there. And, we think it actually came out, we think it looks very clean, honestly.
Tasteful. Very, very clean for sure. 100%.
Yeah.
I thought it looked very, very classy. You could tell exactly what they were going for, what the brand is. Everything hit its mark on that design. Now, as far as like, when you get into a lot of your commercial stuff, I noticed you guys take the door handles out and stuff like that, tape around a lot of things. Is that kind of your standard as far as how you try to do it with your commercial fleet stuff?
Yeah, honestly, we try to wrap everything as much as we can like we were doing a color change.
Yeah.
We won't go super aggressive, but with this car, taking out the door handles, it's like one bolt. Mm-hmm. So time versus money there, it's so worth it on our end to just take them out and put it back on. It really did, it only took me about maybe an hour to really disassemble practically like the whole car,
wow.
That was really getting all 3 disassembled, ready to go. And then we just wrap. So it kind of depends, I think, time versus money on that subject. They're laid out one piece opposed to some of the color change that we do. So we definitely keep that in mind when we're laying it across the side. But we try to cover up as much as we can and, make every job as tasteful and sort of professional as possible,
For sure. Yeah, when you can take those small elements off, like a tail light or like a handle, when it's only one bolt and stuff like that, it saves you all that trimming part, like out of the way, or a miscut by accident around a door handle, or even just that tenting. When you tent over it and then you kind of bring everything into that door handle, so you can
absolutely
cut across the front and then trim everything out behind the handle. That, if you leave that for way too long, it kind of leaves you a little ring.
Absolutely. You got a nasty glue line, that's for sure.
Yes. Yeah. It sucks. And if you don't bring it in and cut it and trim it right away and wait for later to come back to it to trim it, you're never getting that glue line out of there, and it sucks. But you know?
Yeah. And that's true. You know, like I said, that's how we look at just how long is it going to take me to take the door handles off. That's really what we base it off of.
Right.
Is it a lot of work or is it easy? It's definitely a lot easier to pull them off and put it in. Because it usually would take me a while to sit there and put the cup behind and get everything sort of covered up. And, this is multiple colors. These cars are all different colors and we want them to look exactly the same. So it was just in the best interest to pull them off. I mean, push it in the cup, put the handle back on and wrap the handle, because it would take almost longer, in my opinion, to cut around the handle and get it all tucked in. And, sometimes we don't benefit from that.
No. And to be honest with you, I'm one of those types of people that I get very skittish when it comes to taking apart cars, just because it's like you break a clip, you lose a bolt. I mean, I don't even know. I've never lost a bolt. You just take it out too far from the handle and then you hear that clink and you're like, no.
Dropped in the door and I got to take the door panel off.
Yeah. And then forget it.
So on and so forth. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It's just, I'm always scared. I mean, I've become a little bit more, open to taking things apart. I mean, taillights, yeah, no problem. If I can get to them, couple, 8mm bolts, 10mm bolts, take them out, done. No worries. But the handles, man, I'm always scared of losing that bolt because.
Yeah, there's a risk involved for sure. There's a risk involved, but we take our time and we just try to be as cautious as possible. We just, it pays out in the end and it looks finished.
100%. 100%.
That's really what it is. It looks finished.
Over having a seam in the back and just going back to like our weather patterns, man, just like the rain, the snow, just having a seam is not beneficial for our area. It's just one more place where that could fail,
Oh yeah, no, I know. You guys have, what's the temperature like out where you are right now?
Oh man, I woke up to 48 degrees this morning. I'm just trying to get over a nasty cold I had last week, bro.
Oh Jesus.
It's just, now, especially now, and you wake up in the mornings, it's 40s, 1 o'clock,
sucks, right?
1 o'clock, it's like 65, 70. It's like, you don't even know what the fuck to wear all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You're out there in a winter jacket in the morning, and then you're in a freaking t-shirt and shorts that afternoon. It's like,
I know, and that's how you get sick. And then you go from that jacket to t-shirt by the afternoon.
Oh, I'm reaping the benefits now of that. Unfortunately, unfortunately, thank God. But I mean, it is what it is.
No, I'm not really looking forward to it. I'll be honest.
No, dude. And you know what? And being a New Englander, when you start getting this cold in October, we're gonna have a shitty winter.
Oh yeah, it's cold. It's cold already. I mean, it's like really cold.
It's bitter, dude. It's very bitter. I mean, usually you don't put on the heat to the shop or to your homes till like maybe the end of October, mid-November.
No, we got the heat. We got the heat on already.
Blaring, dude.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I'm just gonna say the weather over here has just been like horrible. I don't know if you've been getting like the rain and the cold.
Yes,
but it's rained every day practically for the last week and a half, and it's just been so cold. We don't know.
It's crazy. You ever think about going West Coast?
I love the West Coast. I would love to go West Coast. Right now I'm good over here. We'll see what happens with the future because we got the business going right now. But I would love to go on the West Coast personally.
Oh man, I had such a blast when I was there for RapsCon, and I didn't know I want to come back, man.
I know.
The weather.
I know the feeling.
The people.
That was perfect weather.
Oh my God. It was
like 80, sunny, warm, breezy. It was like perfect.
Were you there?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh man.
I went to RapsCon.
And I didn't even bump into you then.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, no, we just went to go talk to everybody and kind of visit all the booths around and kind of just get going,
Check out all
see what's going on with the industry. Yeah, all the new
stuff.
equipment. Absolutely. Just to get a good idea. And plus you gotta, we get some time off at the shop and, you get some beautiful weather. I mean, what's not to love, you know?
Oh, hell yeah. Just to get out and recharge those batteries, you know what I mean? Have a little fun and enjoy yourself. 'Cause, you know, this industry takes a lot out of us. You know what I mean? Long days, long hours, you know, couple clients here and there, you know, may, you know, put us over the top, but, you know, getting away a little bit and relaxing and reaping the benefits, of what you've accomplished. You know, it's nice to just get away and relax for a little bit.
Yeah. And that's what you need. You know, you definitely need some time to recharge. You know, 'cause your head can get swollen with so much going on and just moving so fast and just trying to get things going that sometimes you just gotta slow down and take a minute or a few days in California, you know, either way.
For sure. For sure. You ever think back and look at time and be like, man, where did the years go by?
I mean, honestly, the last year has really flown by. That is definitely, and even honestly, it's the months. I mean, I look at like the time and like, what's today's date? And Jesus, it's been a month since, you know, we did this and did that. And now it's winter and time really does fly by quick, around here. That's for sure.
That's awesome. You know? Well, it's nice when you're having fun. You know what I mean?
We have fun every day, you know, we do what we love and that's what makes it better.
Oh,
you know?
For sure, brother. For sure. Now you were talking about SEMA. Do you go to SEMA every year?
We go to, visit usually. We haven't been like in, any booths or anything. We haven't had any of our own stuff there, but we usually go to, visit a lot of people out there, just kind of see what the new products are, vinyl, everything. I mean, we usually go. This year we actually won't be going. Sadly, we won't be going, but, we got big plans for next year, at least, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. It gets tough because, you know, it's this year is like right on Halloween and,
right.
You know, family and everything going on. And, we kind of just decided that we're going to stick around here. We're going to spend time with the family, take that time for us. And we'll just come back on, you know, after the show's over and just get back into what we need to get done, you know?
Yeah, for sure, man. I have never attended SEMA this year. Unfortunately, I won't be going. I've kind of come to the conclusion that won't be happening, unfortunately, which sucks.
Yeah.
But
I know.
You know, like you said, it's family time. It's, you know, doing something else too. You know what I mean? But honestly, with the times of social media, and like everyone taking videos, everyone FaceTime and, you know, Instagram Live rather. You almost don't miss anything. You know what I mean?
No, you don't. Yeah. No, social media is huge. I mean, you can stay up to date as much as possible.
Oh, for sure. And even speaking about that, your social media account, man, you've got a lot of followers. You've posted quite a bit on yours. Do you reap a lot of your, benefits as far as getting new clients and stuff like that through your social media?
Yeah, social media, Instagram in particular is really our, number one, for like grabbing people. Honestly, that's like our most beneficial, for getting work in the door is definitely, Instagram.
For sure. Do you do a lot of like Instagram, whatchamacallit, it's escaping me, ads or anything like that?
Like sponsored posts and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Honestly, we don't do any. I don't do any sponsored posts. We really we post pics, we kind of contact people, we sort of search around, we go based on comments or our followers, and then we just get a lot of DMs with new followers. In the last year, we've definitely grown with Instagram quite a bit, for sure, from where we started.
Just being organic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't found it. I think Facebook doesn't do a lot for us, so that was like disappointing. I spent money on Facebook and doesn't really do a lot. We don't even have like a lot of followers on Facebook. We honestly don't pay too much attention to it.
Yeah.
Besides maybe posting what we post on Instagram to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, we really focus on, Instagram, and then our latest thing is going to be YouTube. Those are sort of going to be our big markets, I think.
Nice.
For, marketing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So creating video content and stuff like that for a YouTube page that you're gonna start?
We've actually got a few episodes, kind of like a vlog that we're
Nice.
doing. It's a whole bunch of stuff from, the work we're doing or certain jobs to, pranking our neighbors or, just going out to car shows and having fun. There's kind of just a variety of stuff that we're going to put on this channel. We have a few episodes that we've sort of edited at the moment, and we're just kind of waiting to start posting up. So that'll kind of be our next gig, I think.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And do you have somebody solely doing all your video editing and recording everything, or are you doing a lot of that yourself or in house?
Nope, you're talking to him.
Wow.
I do everything around here. There's really only in my place we got me and we have my father, and that is it.
That's amazing.
Two man shop, and we just hustle.
That's amazing, dude. You and your dad. That's awesome. How'd you get your dad involved in it?
Well, basically, that'll go back to like history, really, because I used to work for him all through like my school years and summers. He ran a performance shop. So he used to he used to professionally drag race.
Wow.
So he used to build race cars. Then we got into like street cars, and we were building all kinds of stuff. So I worked with him like, all summer breaks, weekends, all the way up until I went to college. Then I went to college at URI, and then once I came back, I was working with him again because I went for engineering, and I learned a bunch of, CAD software and everything like that. So that was kind of to grow his business.
Mm-hmm.
And we've really I was working with him forever. It was really up until, because I didn't start VRD. I've been rapping for a while, but I didn't start VRD Customs till probably about a year and a half ago.
Really?
So we're still like pretty new. As far as a company where we specialize in like rap, because the company my dad used to have, and then I was kind of partners with him on that. We ran that for a long time, and then I was starting to do vinyl out of there. And then at some point I knew like what I wanted to do, and I didn't really want to build motors and like do all that stuff. That was like his gig, but I always enjoyed it, so I've always been around cars, but I've always enjoyed it. But I'm very creative, like artistically, and, I'm good with my hands because I've been working with them for my whole life. And, vinyl just seemed like a perfect fit. So once I had sort of brought it to his attention, like this is what I wanted to do, he was on board. He kind of basically semi-retired and shut down his business, but really we sold his business, which was our business. And then we opened up VRD, and since then we've just been full time,
That's amazing, man. So what caught you? What was the bug? What was the interest in just the vinyl? Did you see like a rap somewhere and was like, hey, nice paint job? What's going on? You know what I mean?
You know what it was, surprisingly. So like I said, I've been working with cars my whole life. So we are mechanically inclined in this place opposed to most shops.
Mm-hmm.
We got lathes, milling machines. We got all kinds of Bridgeport equipment. So if we're making like custom stuff on your cars, whether it's exhaust systems, intakes, all that stuff, we do that too, which most people don't even know. We do a lot of custom air ride. We're like, that's sort of what separates us from like, hey, we're not just a, rap shop. We sort of get that, we get that in the door. I don't post any of that stuff on social media because that's my dad's gig. And that's sort of what I let him do. And he picks and chooses, and we only take people in on referrals. And I really just post up like, Rap, Clear Bra, and Ceramic Pro. Wow. And what it was is when we had the old company, I had this local sign shop. They lettered up our van, which is now rewrapped, obviously, with the VRD stuff on it, but they did a wrap on it. And I was so disappointed. I tell you, this is where I came down to the trigger, because I was like, oh, a local guy, he says you're the best, this whole thing. So he did a whole bunch of lettering and stuff like that. Honestly, very simple lettering. It was custom printed, but it was all lettered up pretty much. And he ended up having to redo the truck like 3 times.
Jeez.
And still at the end, they were like peeling back and it was just one of those things where I was like, this is just like garbage. You know what I mean? This is like so disappointing. Like, how do you make any money when you've had to redo it 3 times and it's still not right?
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's really what I say when it triggered me, when I was like, I could do a better job than this. You know, that's really what triggered me. I was like, this is like honestly horrible. And he's supposed to be like a really good sign shop. But that's why I would say like the sign shops around here, some of them are great, you know, and I work with a bunch of them and I send them sign work that I just don't want to do or I have no time to do.
Yeah.
I send it to them. But when it comes to like vehicle wraps, at these places, I don't usually recommend them. And, I remember working with my dad. I mean, over 10 years ago when we first ordered like our first vinyl from Metro Restyling, I remember we ordered carbon fiber. This was like 10 years ago. And we like wrapped a whole bunch of stuff on the build that we were doing. And that was the first time I ever played with vinyl. And I didn't, you know, and I realized like what it was. And it wasn't until then I like knew about it. And I was like, man, this is really cool. This could change the industry. But it didn't suck me in, but it was always in the back of my mind. Cause I'm like, at that time of my life, I was like, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer. I was trying to do like 3D CAD software, you know, build like racing chassis and do all kinds of stuff to help my dad's business grow to like next level, you know? And that was really where my head was at. And it wasn't until I came back and we were working after school and I realized like, man, this vinyl stuff, this guy did a horrible job. I've played with it like before. I bet I could do a better job than this. And that's really when I just started kind of wrapping a whole bunch of stuff, you know, wrapping my brother's car for free and doing a bunch of stuff just to practice.
Figuring it all out.
Yeah, just learning. You know, I went to some classes and that's really what set it off. Honestly, was like this one sign shop that just was really disappointing.
Are they still in business now?
They are still in business, you know, and you know, I go on Google all the time and I'm always like checking to see, and they're still at the top. They're still like, you know, laying on the layers of Google page there, you know, and I'm just like, you know, maybe for like certain signs and stuff, they're good. You know, I remember they posted up, I was with my dad and we were just browsing through. I was like, let's see what the competition is doing, right? It's not really a competition, but I'm always browsing through and, we seen that they wrapped like a Mitsubishi Evo, like just a printed pattern. And oh my God, this video, I just look at it. I was like, I could never ever give that to a client. I mean, the way they installed it and there's everything from the video, it looked bad. You could just see it.
Jeez.
Just everything about it. And I was like, I would never post this up on the internet. First off, I mean, to me, I'd be like, oh God, you know, I would get roasted for it personally. But, that's where I'm just like, you know, that's like I said, we're not really a sign shop.
Right.
We're a rap shop, you know, and, I don't think there are a lot of good rap shops in our area personally, you know.
Yeah. Do you think it's a lack of education for them sometimes? Whether they've been in the industry for a long time and just like, it's a vinyl sticker. We'll figure it out. Let's just slap it on.
Definitely.
I think what we can get away with.
I think some of these sign shops, because they've been dealing with vinyl for so long and they're just doing like printing on, you know, signs and all this stuff that they like know about the material. But really until you start working with, you know, some curves and every body lines and everything like that, you don't really know what the material does. I mean, if it's going on a flat surface, sure, you just stick it on. You know what I mean? Right. But until you really start stretching it and really getting a feel for how it acts and what it does when you heat it up and everything else, I don't think you would know. And, to me, it really just took practice. I mean, this is what I love about the business is every day and every car that I do, it just seems like, oh, this was the best one, you know, and then the next one is like, oh, it's just getting better and better every time we do it, you know?
That's amazing. Now you had mentioned going back, you had taken some classes for rapping. What did you take for classes back then?
Well, I took the Avery class. So I went for training, with Avery. And then I also went to, Geek Raps for 3M training, with them.
Nice.
So those were the two that I went to sort of get I was already like pretty good, but get like a little more practice. And, that's really what set me off from starting to go for like certifications and things like that, you know.
So what certifications do you hold now?
Well, right now we got Avery and, we're part of the Pain is Dead network. So those are our two at the moment.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. Pain is Dead. Yeah. Such a great group. How, did you just get on it for this year or have you already been on the Painters Day
No,
group?
well, we just, probably about 2 months ago, I guess.
That's amazing,
2 months
man.
ago, they let us in, and we're kind of part of the group now. So that was that's been one of my goals ever since I started rapping.
Oh man,
you know?
Congrats on that, man. That's
I
a huge
appreciate that.
that's a huge network, and even going back to, getting more information, that's such a great group where you can, lean on your brothers or sisters and your group members to kind of get information about what not to do, what to do, what material to use, what's going on in the industry. A lot of them have the ins, you know what I mean? And
Oh yeah, absolutely.
you kind of get that one up, in the industry because you kind of know what's going on prior to it being released or whatnot. So that's such a great group to be in, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely an honor to be a part of that network. And like I said, that's been one of my goals, especially once we opened up shop, was to really be a part of these networks. I still have some certifications that I want to go for, and would love to be a part of like Masters of Branding as well. I don't know if we're ready for that yet, but long term, definitely one of my goals as well. You know?
For sure. Because you play both ends of the spectrum with the commercial and the color change. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, we do. So I think that would definitely play a big part in our business. You know?
For sure. Now, as far as like your design background and stuff, how did you figure out how to create the rap? How'd you get education on that? Using, because the programs and softwares are so kind of gibberish to a lot of people, to say the least. You know what I mean? So learning all the icons, the tools, and what to do and what not to do. How did you get all that situated?
That was probably one of the most difficult things to do in this business, was to figure that out. Honestly, couldn't find anywhere to really get educated, especially when it came to like vehicle templates and like actually getting the artwork to work. I couldn't find like any sort of education. It was really tough. It pushed me once we got our printer here, and they came and installed it, and we did the training for that. And he kind of gave me a couple pointers just on like what he was doing and some of the tools. And, I've always played around with like Photoshop when I was young. And like I said, I'm definitely artistic. So I've always done like all kinds of graphics, but I didn't mess with too much Illustrator until I really had to, which was like once I got the printer, I really had to,
I think you had no choice.
No, I didn't have a choice.
Oh my God.
But it was all self-taught. Honestly, I just taught myself all this.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
And how many years have you been kind of messing with the file templating and all that stuff? Only like a year and a half?
Yeah, really just if I at the max a year and a half.
Damn.
We opened up last May, I guess.
That's just amazing, dude.
Yeah.
To kind of open up a year.
Yeah, it's been about a year. It's been about a year and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, to open up a year from now, you know what I mean? And figuring it all out, buying a printer, all that stuff. Now you obviously probably have a cutter as well.
Oh yeah, I bought all my equipment as soon as I rented the building.
Wow.
So we started right off the bat, with everything we needed here in house to at least get, cause I knew color change was great, but I know personally that commercial was definitely a way to go, to bring in business and to just get more jobs. And without the printers and everything, I didn't want to just be reliant on color change or doing overlays and things like that, you know?
Right. And what do you have for printers now? HPs, right?
Yeah, we got an HP 365. And then we have a seal laminator, and we got the GraphTech 8600 for our plotter.
Nice.
So we're pretty set with equipment for now until they get overworked and we can, upgrade to some more printers and cutters and things like that. But they're handling it right now, For sure. I mean, the HP, now what set you off to going latex over EcoSolvent, with the Roland, Mamaki, or a Muto printer? What sold you on that? Really was just that it was instantly dry. I mean, I didn't have any wait time.
Yeah.
That's really what was like, I could print and stick. And, that's really what sold me, honestly, with the latex. was just that I didn't have to worry about, the ink drying. It was just going to dry and out the printer, and we were good to use it,
Yeah, the quickness and the ease. I think that's been the best thing since latex has come out is the quickness of getting jobs done a lot faster and maintenance, man. I mean, I was never an HP person at first. I'm all like, I don't know, about the whole thing about not outgassing. I still feel like the material still needs to outgas. And I'll tell you, I've wrapped a few products, on different, I've had it printed on 3M. I've had it printed on Avery, and the color and the stretchability of it off a latex printer, man, I have no complaints at all. It's just amazing how good the color stays when you stretch it, how good it comes back if you kind of stretch a little bit of it. And it lays down so nice, man.
Yeah, it really does. We haven't had one issue since we've had this printer. Thank God for that. But, we work this thing hard,
For sure.
So I got no problems with it. I'm definitely happy with the purchases. The laminator, we definitely would love to get like another different type of laminator. I think the seal it's great, but I've had like some issues with it here.
Yeah. What is it like? Pressure issues or stuff like that?
No, it's not even that, honestly. It's the biggest thing is getting to keep it straight. Like, as far as setting the paper up to do like full rolls, it always seems to skew a little bit, whether it was left or right. And, really important on actually putting it in completely straight as possible, before you put it in there.
Oh man.
That's one of the biggest things. So like pulling out like big rolls, even on the size of these cars, 15 or 20 feet, we get them done, but they seem to skew. So to try for this machine for us to try and push out like 75 feet of color or, 150 feet of color, it would never happen. It's not one of those, and I gotta watch it like a hawk. It's not one of those machines where I can lay it up and leave it alone.
That's so funny. I mean, everybody that listens to the podcast, we all know I go through my rants with laminators. That's kind of like my thing. You know what I mean? And I love talking about them. It's just, the tracking on them it's
brutal.
Yeah, man.
Honestly, it kicks me in the butt all the time.
It sucks. There's no easy way to get that thing in perfectly where you can track it all the way, especially leaving it alone where it would go roll to roll.
No, I don't do that.
No way. No. I see people posting videos with the thing in the front rolling out, and I see these crazy like wrinkles. I'm like, how the fuck is that getting in and not getting jammed up? And then it's rolling itself back on the other end. I wouldn't even think you guys have way too much confidence in your laminators than I would.
Yeah. No, I do not. That's one of the biggest disappointments, I think, for equipment that I have is just, man, getting this thing. I would love to be able to push out full rolls.
Yeah.
No problem. Laminate them, leave them alone, get my work done. I can't, I used to set them up, like on the roller on the bottom.
Yeah.
Sometimes that helps to keep it from like sort of fingering
a
little bit because it keeps it tighter. But most of the time I lay it out on the table and then I push it in and I roll it as it's coming out the back. And I just know that it's going to be clean. There aren't going to be any bubbles and nothing's missing and it'll get the job done. But it's really the skewing where it starts kind of getting off track that every time I get agitated. That's the only machine that pisses me off. It really does.
I think it pisses all of us off. It
pisses me off on putting it in.
Yep.
Like setting up a new roll of laminate.
Oh my God.
That pisses me off. And then also actually laminating pisses me off just because of the fact that it always moves. And I just like,
When you disassemble your machine, do you disassemble it on every roll or do you put it on for 2 rolls and then take it all apart? Do you run 2 full rolls before you completely disassemble it?
Well, no, we run 1 roll. So we'll set up the roll and then you have the feed roll that's kind of rolling. That one I'll keep on until it just gets too big when it's rolling the backing paper.
Right.
That one I leave, but I will usually reset all over for like every roll. I've tried to sort of feed them in and keep them going, but I waste too much laminate trying to reset it up.
Yeah.
Doing it that way because it gets wrinkly and you can't get it smooth and it takes time for the wrinkles to actually roll out. So I end up just wasting too much in the beginning. So I just found it easier to sort of prepare myself on a table with the roll and then put it on the machine and then feed it in. That seems to be the best way to not lose material and quickest way, I guess. Either way, it's a pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
But
no matter which way you slice it.
Yeah.
It's the last thing you got to do to get the job done, and it's the most stressful thing you have to do.
It is. It's like I said, it's the only machine that really gets my blood pressure up.
Yeah. It's like, I got so many prints to do. I mean, what was your blood pressure at printing these Priuses? Holy shit. Especially when you're trying to get those edges. You know what I mean? You're trying to, at the end of the day, we don't want waste. Waste is money left on the table. So if we can nest 2 or 3 jobs together and fill up that 52.5 inches on that 54-inch roll, or even max it out to 52 3/4, okay, cool. I know my printer can print that all the way to the edge, but can my laminator handle that from skewing?
That's a good point.
That's the biggest thing, man. There's no happy medium, bro. And
I'd almost wish they made, if they had laminate that was at 61 inches and it was
just a
little bit bigger. Just because I know that the dang thing is going to scoot over and I'm going to need that extra bit sitting on the side. Yeah. And I get away with it with the printer. It's super easy. I mean, I print out all 3 cars in a row. You know what I mean? I just let it feed in and roll it all up. But it'd be nice if I could just slap that on the laminator and just let that thing go. And then I would be golden then, we'd be moving quick.
You know what I used to do is I used to have a Royal Sovereign as well. And man, when I would print the graphics into itself so I could see the backing paper. And what I would do is I would roll that sucker so tight, you know what I mean, on the core. And I would just feed in the first 6 inches of film on the Royal Sovereign, because the Royal Sovereign's got that clear kind of case on the front that keeps your fingers away from the roller. And I would put the first inch on my feed that's already in the roller, you know what I mean, as my starter. I would tape, the 2 corners in the middle. And sometimes what I would do is I would measure it and make 3 lines so I know that those lines are parallel. So if my media is skewed in the rollers, at least I know wherever I measured, they're all the same. And and my cutoff from my beginning, the film in the beginning, I could just line up those lines, tape it, and I would just let the full core hit the front of the case, like the little clear case.
Yep, I got you.
And I'd only let out 2 inches at a time that you could physically see. 1, it kept the dust from hitting it, and I didn't have to clean it. 1, and it wasn't, it's reverse wound. And 2, the likelihood of something happening within those first 2-3 inches is very minute. Once it goes in, you're pretty much dead on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was always a great trick for me, especially if you're printing a full roll or at least a half a roll. You could kind of hold it tight and just let your fingers hold the core, and almost like they would be the pressure allowing the media to feed into the rollers, so you wouldn't get that weird tension on one end or the other. I just never got putting the roll underneath the table and it rubbing up against the table when it comes up into the laminator. How are you not getting a weird kink or wrinkle, because it's going up and over? That just doesn't make sense to me. It needs to be in front of the laminator. It just it fathoms me the way it's
really tough. It's really tough. I wish they made some good. When we went to RapsCon, I don't even remember the brand. I did write it down, but there was one brand. It was a I don't know. It was a laminator. It was pretty tall. It was slim, so it was like thin.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to the guy. I was like, I'm looking for a laminator that could do like 75, 150 feet, but I like want to put it on there and I just want to walk away. You know what I mean? And it was, it wasn't nearly as expensive as the seal. And I remember the guy telling me, oh, this could do it, but I still have my doubts because there's some people that say they can do it. And they told me when I went with the seal, they're like, yeah, no problem. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't only sometimes do I use it, that bottom roller where it feeds over the table.
Right.
Sometimes that's okay. It like works perfectly where it's like, okay, it keeps it nice and tension. And that's really only if my roll is straight too.
Yes.
Like if it's not completely flat on both sides, it will swerve over.
Yeah.
Like it's not, you know what I mean? And it moves. And that's where you start getting those fingers. And that's when I know when I'm looking at the fingers. I was like, oh my God, it's like better not leave anything on the material.
You're waiting for the next panel to finish so you can cut it off and start fresh.
Yeah, and start over.
My God, dude.
And you're just ready to start over. And that's what we were dealing with. We were doing these Priuses. It was just like, we do one whole side because I did print out like practically all three cars. Like they were just, once I did the first car and I knew everything was golden, it was like, all right, my files are done. Print them all. You know what I mean?
Right.
So once I did that and I just had this thing printing all day. It was just printing out all these pieces. So I had this big roll on the printer that was all done. And that was like one of the things. And I remember, we used the bottom one because it was really long. Normally we try to use the table, but I'm like, we set it up on the bottom, but it wasn't flat. And we tried to make it flat, but it wasn't perfect. And I remember we were going in, we set it all up. It looked okay. It was skewing. I left myself some room on the sides. So I knew that it was going to be okay if it skewed.
Yeah.
But I figured like pull it in and I remember we were getting to some of the pieces now. You're getting like certain panels and I hit like the midway through like the whole side and it starts crinkling. And I just know like, man, I still got like 8 or 9 feet, before I can chop it, and actually start over. And that was, that's like one of the most annoying things where it's like, oh, it looks beautiful. And I'm looking at the laminate on the roller. I'm like, it's straight and there's nothing on it. It looks great. And then all of a sudden it's got fingers and it's like, it just moved over and it's starting up and then I'll cut it. And we just like kept feeding this thing through. Oh. And I remember, and we had one whole side left. This was the last panel we had to do, one whole side left. And I had like just enough laminate on the machine. And it was like one of those things where I look at it and I'm just like, do we gamble with how much laminate is on the roll and get the whole side? Or is it going to come short? And like, obviously that would be horrible, but it's like one of those things with this laminator. Like once I pull that little bit off, like it's pretty much useless.
That's it.
I could use it for like, some edging and stuff like that.
Right.
But to reset it up, it's going to use like a whole bunch of that.
Right.
And then what am I going to have left? I could barely cover up like 5 feet of something and then like throw it away.
Right.
So we remember we were like, go for it. We went for it. And I tell you, it just made it. I mean, it went over the last piece of color and then only made maybe about a half inch onto the white. And then I maybe had like, 4 or 5 inches of white that was unlaminated at the end of the roll. But it just made it. And we're like, oh my God, we're so lucky. I was like, me and my dad look at each other. We're like, that's how you utilize your money right there.
Yeah. All the way to the end.
Yeah. It pulled it off the roll and everything. And it was just coming down the roller on the laminator. And it's like, oh, we knew it was close.
You got
close, but you can never tell.
No, never. You got the cardboard breaking off. The laminate coming down through. Oh my God. That's when you know you got your money's worth.
Yeah. And it was risky. Shit. It was risky for sure. We were like, man, I wish I had a hood or something at the end.
Yeah.
The whole side. And I was like, I have to reset up this whole thing with a new laminate just to do the last piece. And it was like one of those things I didn't want to deal with right now, And, we lucked out for sure. We used all the material on that one, but, money spent. Well, that's
Hell
for sure.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. So we were psyched about that.
Yeah, scraps. I wish there was like a website where, we could log in and just put in, how many times we've lost prints to a laminator. I would be interested to see how many people lose. It's like a fucking Cookie Monster. It just eats up the print. Boom, done. Got to print a new one. Oh my
Absolutely.
God. It's,
I could talk about this topic forever, man. This thing is, really, I have nothing to say about the printer and the Graph Tech. They work beautifully, but this laminator, oh Jesus, like I said,
it's the Achilles heel of the industry. For real, dude. It's the Achilles heel of the industry. I mean, you go back to when we used frog juice, spraying the shit back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And then, the whole lamination thing and the old laminators we used to use that had the tensioners on either end before they only had one lever or created one lever. It's like, it fathoms me that they still haven't perfected something where it's goof proof. I'm not asking for miracles or anything, but make something where it's more or less, user friendly. Yeah. I mean, the seal's really good. I've used the seal. Honestly, the Royal Sovereign's been a really popular machine. It's a little bit, it's not as tall as the seal, and it's probably a little bit wider than the seal. The seal's kind of like narrow and kind of tall. But I just, those are the only two I've ever messed with. Any other laminate? Dej. Well, I left that on the sidewalk one day. But I mean, other than those are the only ones I've really messed with. I did see something really cool at an event. I think it was RapsCon. I was watching a previous video from, either 2017 or something, where they had a table, a specific table for production. It had lights in the table, and it had a roller on the end. And all you had to do was push the roller, dude, and it would laminate the print for you on the table. I thought that was amazing, but
I seen that too at RapsCon.
I think
that two different brands had tables there when I went over there.
I'll tell you, that might be the solution, but the only thing is, now you have to find room for that specific size table.
And it's a big table.
It's not a little table, but you get all in one. You get a production table, you get a light box underneath it. Like the whole table's a light box. So when you're weeding and doing all this stuff, you can actually see what you're weeding out, because that's the hardest thing. And you can use it for substrates, to install substrates, graphics like that. But you're going to pay a premium for it.
You are. You know what the biggest problem I found is that it still won't solve my problem with trying to do a full roll, because I talked to them when I was there too. And I think one of the tables you get up to like 15 feet, I think.
Yep.
But okay, sometimes that's enough to do a whole side of the car. And, I found that pretty interesting for, using like leftover pieces of laminate for sure. You can utilize like little pieces, on like little, laminate small pieces. And obviously you don't have to reset up if I want to go from like a matte finish to a gloss finish. Right. That seems pretty easy, but it still didn't solve my problem with like, I want to laminate 75 feet. Cause they said basically at the end of 15 feet, like,
that's it.
There's really nothing you'd have to like move the whole thing over and try to keep doing that every time. And so maybe for production, we looked into it for sure. It takes up a lot of real estate. That's one of our biggest things.
Yeah.
But for production and weeding out and, doing all that kind of stuff or doing quick jobs, it definitely is good, but it's a price to pay for really, I think, what we would get out of it. I don't know. It's up and down, I think, on that category for us.
For sure. What else did you find like helpful or useful at the show that you were kind of like shopping for or trying to get more information on?
One of the things that I went for was really just design software, trying to figure out software and just tools and see what people are using, and I didn't find any of that, so that was like kind of disappointing. Because that's really what I went out there for. We don't need any equipment right now, but it's always nice to go and just see it. And I definitely wanted to see the table, because I remember seeing it on the table on YouTube, and that was something that we definitely considered. So I was like, man, I got all these leftover pieces of like 5 feet of laminate and this and that. And, we use them, but, with the machine, we can definitely get some use out of it. And if we're putting masking on things, we could use it for that.
Right.
I mean, they had a whole bunch of uses. So I remember talking to the lady, and that seemed like it seems like a good thing if you have the space and you do maybe a lot of sign work. But, for like what we do, I think the priority is finding a laminator, honestly, that can bang out rolls. I don't know if they have one, but we still search every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let me know when you find one, man.
We still search every day.
We'll have to share. There's got to be more tips and tricks on how to properly use a laminator. I mean, they can only tell you so much. It's like, hey, the film goes here and it comes out the other side. The rest is up to you. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like. I feel like I could be a laminator salesperson.
Absolutely.
And get away with murder and nobody would say shit. You know what I mean? Be thanks for your purchase. Appreciate it. This is the way you use it.
Thanks for your money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let me know if you need a replacement part.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Nobody teaches you anything.
No.
They don't teach you anything. I had them come down here. So originally when we got the laminator, it came down. I was like, yo, this thing is going like crazy crooked. Something seems off. Something seems off. So the guy came down, he looked at it. It was actually like a screw or something missing from, that broke off or something during shipping. That's what they realized. So they replaced it and then they kind of straightened it out. And they're like, oh, yeah, good. You're good to go now. Boom, right? I'm like, all right. So like we're using it. It still does the same thing, and we've been back and forth with like, how do I get this thing not to like start offsetting? Cause once you start going crooked at like inch number 1 by 15 feet, you're way off.
Yeah.
You're way off.
You're like 10 inches off. Oh my
so
God.
that's one of the biggest things. It's just, we haven't found one that works.
It
does the job though.
Absolutely. It does what it needs to get done. And you almost feel like it's user error. You're like, is it me doing something wrong? Is it me not seeing straight? Am I putting this in crooked every single time?
Yeah, sometimes it is. Sometimes I'm like, dang, it caught in.
You're man enough to admit it. You're man enough to admit it.
Caught in early on one side, and I'm like, oh, by the end of this one, it's gonna be horrible.
Your right hand's like ready to go, and your left one's just like putting around, like, hey, can't get there at the same time, but.
Yeah, you think it's user, but I really don't think it is at this point.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to find, the solution is, it's almost like insanity, keep doing the same thing. And it comes out the same every time.
Oh,
you're expecting something different, but it's not.
Same results. Oh my God. So let's talk about your shop a little bit. Like, what's your setup like? Cause I've seen it looks like in your, Instagram posts and your videos, you've got a pretty large bay. Take me through your shop a little bit.
All right. So we have, a little over 3,000 square foot building.
Nice.
We have, when you come in, we got an entrance with just a waiting room in the front. We have go to the right. We have my office and then basically all the printing equipment, our plotters, everything is all in its own office. We keep everything, just keep all the dust and keep it temperature controlled in here. So everything is that's separated from the shop. And then we also have sort of like a kitchenette when you come in here. We have a kitchenette. We got 2 restrooms, and then it's really just the shop. After that, it's all open space. We got 2 lifts in here, and then it's really just all open. And then above us too, we have a stairway, so we have all upstairs, which is above our offices and the printing room and everything up there, which we have like a full machine shop up there.
Wow.
And then storage. So really we just have my office. We have all the equipment room basically. And then it's just maybe about 2,500 square feet or 2,400 square feet of just open space for like all the cars, I guess.
That's pretty cool.
Like do a rough estimate. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Now your lifts, are they, the lifts that you can kind of drive over and then it picks it up, or has it got the side?
No, we have the sides.
Yeah.
So we have full lifts in here. Cause like I said, we still do, a lot of mechanical work, which is really just, aftermarket work, which is for my dad's side, which I keep him busy. Like he's a rapper too, a little bit.
I've taught him
a little bit. He's actually really good. He's actually really good at clear bra.
Really?
Over rapping. Yeah, he's actually really good at putting on, clear bra. So that's been helpful. He's really just my hand, when I need another hand. So he's around, but he keeps himself busy with those lifts. That was really his section.
Yeah.
That we built, for him. Those are like, he's got his 2 lifts, and then I basically got the whole runway and, sort of designed this runway so I could fit about 3 cars straight deep. So I could be working on 3 cars at the same time if I really needed to. Or we could fit up to like a 54-foot rig in here. So we have a 20-foot overhead door. So we could bring some massive box trucks and trailers and stuff in here with the setup. You know,
was that already in there? Like the 20-foot door? Was that already in there?
The door was in here when I got here. The only thing, so they had the office and the kitchenette was there. We built this whole separate room for all the printing equipment when we moved in. So we built this whole room and then we built a stairway so we could pretty much bring everything else upstairs and keep everything off the floor down here.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? So we got a pretty nice setup. I got my wall racks, all vinyl, everything up against the wall. At some point, the lift, we think there's actually a bay next door. He's going to be here for about another year. So we're hoping at some point by then we'll be busy enough to take on that second bay. And then I think we can bring most of like the lifts and sort of the stuff that my dad does, put it in that bay, and then I could really utilize the space for some big tables and everything else in here. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah,
so we got big plans.
Break up into the wall where you can walk between the 2 bays.
Yeah, I don't know if we would do that. Because the doors, we had 2 garages. We're the only one in this section. So there's about 5 bays in our building. So there's 5 companies in this whole building. Mm-hmm. And, we have the biggest door. We have the biggest shop out of all these other spots.
Yeah.
And the door over, I think they're like your standard size, 14-foot door, I would suppose.
Overhead door, yeah.
Your standard, overhead door is about 14 feet. But ours, like the floors are all done in here. It's all white walls. We got all new LED lighting. The one next to us is very industrial, still like concrete floors. We just think for like prepping, doing anything, any kind of dirty stuff, or if he's working on some cars, that would definitely be a better location. So we're not doing it in here. We try to keep this place as dust-free as possible, really.
Oh, for sure.
It's tough, but we do as best as we can.
Yeah, especially with the expel stuff and the paint protection and you've got to have a serious setup and a serious separation from regular life in that, because it's so, wrapping's one thing, but when you get to PPF, it's like a whole nother animal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
It's amazing. And I so want to get more involved with like PPF. I want to do some training and stuff like that. Did you end up going out and getting certified in PPF?
No, I haven't gotten trained. Once again, that was self-taught. We kind of just taught ourselves how to do that. I watch a ton of videos. I'm part of the Rap Institute, so I'm always eyeing out what he's got going on and different techniques.
Yep.
So that's been super beneficial to us. And, really it was only until we started messing with our own stuff and then we got our first clear bra job where we really started getting a flow for it. We use Expel. We also use their, solution. Mm-hmm. So we buy the solution from them. We don't mix anything. We found that to be like helpful because sometimes, for us, in the beginning, we didn't have our like mixture right properly. And it was just like totally eating away at the adhesive. It was just making our job horrible. That was when I was like, I hate this stuff, So it was so hard to work with. But, once we started messing with their solution, it's kind of been like a breeze. My dad, he did body work for, 20 years and he's been building race cars his whole life. That's really, like I said, besides the fact that we use, the laminating, the printing as separation from us and other people, being able to do custom finishes or custom prints, whether, you want to do some really cool graphic on your car or you just wanted a commercial print. We also, like I said, we got full machine shop upstairs. That's why I'm not really afraid of taking it apart. If you go back to the beginning of our conversation, I've been taking cars apart and pulling motors and building motors. And, I went to school for mechanical engineering. So I've been doing that since I was like a child.
Yeah.
I'm not really afraid of that. Cars are like my passion. Once I got into vinyl, this is like, man, I eat, sleep, breathe this stuff. This is just like, I'm, 110% every day, never stop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the only way you learn, man. Doing it every day, being repetitious, not being scared of what you're doing. You know what I mean? That's the only way you can get comfortable and be successful in anything, is doing it every day. They say you have to do something 100,000 times or some shit to actually get it. You know what I mean? Or be a master at it or whatnot. It's just amazing.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I found most helpful when I started rapping, was really just, when you don't do it every day, it can definitely be tough every time you try to do it, especially if you have like a big gap in between like doing it and not doing it. It's hard to get to rap well, when you do it like that. But when you start doing it every day and you're always rapping something, you definitely, like I said, that's every time I do a car, it seems to feel like, oh man, this is like the best one. They just feel like, okay, this is better than the last one, and this is better than the last one. It's just one of those techniques and skills that I feel like just continues to grow as your business grows, and you get better and the business gets better, and together it just seems to work out.
Oh, for sure. For sure. 100%, man. What do you think was the hardest thing that you had to go through starting up a business? I mean, I know you came from a business background, having your dad as like kind of like a mentor, working with him having his own business, but opening up your own shop, having your own guidelines of what you wanted to do and your vision. What do you think was the hardest part of doing that?
The hardest part.
Yeah. What kept you up at night? What scared you the most?
Am I going to make money? Can you afford the building that you're getting into? That was probably the most fearful stuff. Like, cause you're starting a rap business, and we were kind of like deadening the performance side now because we weren't doing that business anymore. And we just wanted to know like how busy. It's tough, just the unknown, I think. Just, what's to come? Are we going to get work? Are things going to come in? That was probably the scariest thing, because, financially it can get expensive if you're not getting any work, and when you sign a lease, you're in it. You know what I mean? That was probably like the one thing that was, always in the back of your mind. Luckily we have, definitely been doing okay over here.
Yeah. And you spare no expense as far as knowing what you want to do and, opening up the shop. Some people open up the shop and be real conservative as far as how they have it and run it. You know what I mean? Like they'll have like a cutter, and maybe they'll sub out their prints because they don't want to accumulate that cost of leasing or trying to buy out a printer. It gets expensive.
Yeah.
We all know maintenance, inks, media.
Yeah, media is expensive.
Media alone.
Every time we order, it's like, Jesus.
$1,000
every time.
Not everybody has $1,000 every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And building that kind of, that kind of security blanket is tough.
Yeah.
To get to that point. And I think, because you've got a unique kind of background, because you started dabbling a little bit in the expense of having it done at your dad's old shop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You built that relationship. You built that kind of unique clientele. And then the transition was just easier for you. A lot of us, work from home, trying to build something, and then making that next step is purchasing, or leasing a building, and, having that monument, like it's a good feeling, but definitely an overwhelming feeling.
Yeah.
Having people walk through your doors, coming in. I mean, for me, that was always a great accomplishment when people could walk through your door, get a service done. I always felt like that was like my biggest goal. Like that completed me at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
No, I understand completely. In my case, definitely blessed to, have my father around to really help guide me a bit. You know what I mean? I knew what I wanted to do. He's got tons of business background. My brother, he owns his own company, so both of his sons are CEOs and run their own companies. And he's definitely helped us both out. But I knew what I wanted to do, and, you know, it still was involved with cars. And like I said, I sort of gave him his spot in the shop to work on his own stuff. And being that said, that we have clients for, you know, like 20 years, right? Which is why we don't totally get rid of, you know, the mechanical side.
Right.
Because we still have clients from like 20 years who call up and only want my father to work on his stuff, you know. We don't take projects on. So like any like stuff like we used to do at the old shop, we don't take big projects. If there's something that's going to sit in my place for more than 2 weeks, most of the time I don't take it, you know. I can't lose the space is really what it comes down to. Right. So we don't do that stuff. We do like installs, whether you want a downpipe installed, intakes. The longest thing that we do is we'll do like a custom air ride setup on a car and, you know, set up the whole trunk and do a bunch of wrapping on the tank and really make it like stand out, do like wood grain wrap on the floor of the trunk, you know, so always utilizing what we do, you know, but we have like the tools here and the experience to sort of bring things next level from just the wrap shop, which is really, I think, long term what going to separate us. But that's why I focus on Clear Bra, Vinyl Wrap, and Ceramic Pro. I mean, those are like on Instagram and social media. That's really all people ever see us do. You know, nobody really knows about anything else on the back end. You know, because we don't advertise at all for it. We don't take any work off the street for it. It's strictly referrals. If you've been around for a long time, or if you've been a client of ours for some time now and you see what we can do, and it builds a relationship, you know what I mean? So that's been a blessing, honestly, because, you know, in the beginning when we definitely didn't have a lot going on and you're nervous and you're kind of hoping the phone is going to ring. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Scary.
And, you know, yeah, and, you know, you don't really know. Some days it doesn't ring at all. Like, you know, what am I doing wrong? Especially in the beginning. Yeah, it's, you know, it is definitely scary.
Now you don't want to pick up the phone. The thing won't stop ringing.
Yeah, you know, exactly. So, you know, he kind of definitely saved my butt a bit in the beginning. He was sort of my security a bit with being the mechanical side and, being able to take in some jobs to, you know, cause the month goes by fast. Before you know, it's like rent's due again. I felt like I just paid it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, what did I do this month? In the beginning, it's like, what did I actually accomplish this month besides like advertising and the website and doing all this stuff? What did I do in the shop? It wasn't really a whole lot in the beginning, you know? We really took us a little while to get going, but, definitely in the last year, we picked up quite a bit, I think, and our social media, Instagram in particular has grown, I think a lot actually, just in the last 6 months, mainly, you know, so we've definitely seen that improve the business quite a bit, you know,
for sure. You know, and you really can't hide too much having your personal car. I mean, it's the Mercedes, the C43. Yeah.
That's my baby.
Dude, that's just a beast of a car, dude. Amazing. I love,
thank you.
You know what it is? You've kind of hit the mark with this new era. And I think you and I are same generation. You know what I mean? What are you, like 34, 35?
Me, I'm 28 years old.
28 years old, you fucking baby.
Yeah.
You baby, dude.
Well,
holy shit.
You're as old as my brother, so it's fine.
Holy shit.
He's got 8 years on me.
Oh man. So your brother and I are roughly around the same age, but still around the same era. But I mean,
believe me, I'm in the era of everybody because I have a sister in the middle. So she's 3 years older than me, and then I have my brother who's 8 years older than me.
Oh, so I've seen everything.
Right? So I've been from the new generation is outrageous. Anyone below me, I don't even want to talk about them. But I go from all the old school hip hop and all the era and everything up to today's age. I'm like your best combination, in my opinion, between the ages. So
you know what it is? You get it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You know what I mean? And given that your car has that kind of new age camo shapes and colors and the theme.
Yeah, it was popular.
Dude, it's such a hot thing right now. Like everybody wants that. It's just amazing. And your color theme is great with the grays and the dark grays and the light grays. And then you get that splash of like fluorescent green or yellow.
Yellow. Yeah.
Dude.
The yellow. Just enough yellow in my opinion. Just enough.
Killed it.
I appreciate that.
Little spots, man. And the thing's just so sick. Just slam to the ground on bags. Like, you probably have no no problem. When you show up to a car show, people are just like, damn, okay. You know, Mark's here now. Okay, everybody like chill out. You know, you have no problem getting that business because your work speaks for itself. You know what I mean?
And that's what it is. You know, it's my own personal car, but man, I use that thing for business as much as possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got
it. That's why I wrapped it. I mean, that's probably it's probably a year old now. I guess a wrap's been on probably about a year. That was like the first thing I ever designed with Illustrator and then actually printed like a full wrap on a car. That was like the first thing I ever did. Really.
Wow.
I mean, I've done installs like before that, but like out of using my own artwork and designing it myself with the templates and then actually printing it out on my own printer and laminating it myself and then putting it on the car. That was the first thing I ever done.
Start to finish.
Was like, yeah, that was a big accomplishment for me. You know, it was really, that is what made me figure out how the template works and scaling and everything. Cause nobody tells you any of that stuff. No. I can't find anything. So it was a nightmare for me to figure that out. You know?
Did you butterfly the template out so you can kind of have your bumpers, your hoods, your back bumpers, so your quarter panels kind of line up?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Yeah. You had to figure all that out yourself, huh?
I had to figure that out myself. Yeah.
How much did that suck?
Oh, that sucked. Yeah. I think I wrapped the hood, I think 3 times to get that one, the last one to work, which was perfect. I think the first one I put on, it wasn't right. And I pretty much seamed it because I was like, I didn't want to deal with it. Yeah. And I was like, no, I can't do that. I was like, I had to take it off because I knew that I could get it. But it was all, you know, a work in progress. I was trying to figure it out, how to set everything up and line it up and being able to do that. So if I wasn't able to figure it out on my own stuff, how am I supposed to do it for anybody else? You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, it was a big learning curve with that car, which is, you know, one of the big things for me.
Hey man.
But it came out great.
And that's the best time to do it is on your personal car. That's when you could take the time and at the end of the day, figure it out, template the thing the way you need it to have a template. Cause, you know, when somebody looks at that, they're going to think, oh yeah, it looks great. But to a rapper looking at another rapper's work, the first thing you're going to look at is where your transitions are and how close they are to lining up. Cause I see a lot of stuff on like Instagram where like the concept's there in the renderings, like hood matches the front bumper, quarter panels match the back bumpers, trunk matches, you know what I mean? But then like they fall off the mark on the install a little bit. It's skewed a little bit. And I feel like, you know, I don't know. It's a hard install. Don't get me wrong.
And that's true.
I understand hitting those marks all the way, especially with something so detailed where you have a lot of lines and you got to hit every one. You're not going to hit every one. And sometimes it's almost better to like not make it look like it's wrong and just put it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just walk away.
No, I understand.
And have
that was kind of one of the, I see like our pattern is sort of scattered, right? Cause it's really just boxes. So I mean, I probably could have got away with no alignment, but it still to me was noticeable. You know, it's like, man, cause it's so trunk to, you know, quarter panel and then, you know, trying to run that quarter to the bumper and everything else. It was just like, you know, I wanted to match up and that was our goal with that car was to make sure that we kind of figured out how the hood was definitely the hardest to figure out, design wise.
Cause you have so many elements around it. You know,
I got bumper and
two
fenders.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in your car, and that car isn't like square. It's more round. It's kind of bubbly.
It's rounded. Yeah. It's kind of bowed in the middle and then it comes down, it curves. So that was the first thing you find out once we print it. And, you know, you put it on the hood and as soon as it curves down, you realize like how far off.
You lose an inch real quick.
You lose like the whole thing is like way off, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a learning curve. I'll give you that, you know? We've definitely I'll tell you now, I've come a long way with the design aspect and figuring things out with cars since I started. Cause like I said, I didn't know a damn thing about that and I couldn't find anything.
Right.
I mean, I could find ways to learn for Illustrator and all this stuff, but all right, what about like vehicle templates and like just details on that? Nobody tells you any of that stuff. You can't, I couldn't find any information on it, you know, nothing specific for what we do. So I was like, man, it's been a, you know, a little bit of work.
So what templates are you using now?
Well, basically we use, Mr. Clip Art, and then we also have, it depends. Sometimes I'll use like the bad wrap, and
Bad
then,
wrap, yeah.
for bad wrap, bad wrap if I have to do, I'll design them in Illustrator and stuff like that and just get everything scaled up on the bad wrap so it looks good.
Oh, I love the bad wrap, man. When they came out with that, it was amazing. I actually have, Tim Hillcove, I think it is. I've got him coming on the podcast, as well fairly soon to talk about, smart wraps and, the bad wrap. He's involved in that venture as well, which is great. Can't wait to hear, how things are going with it, with, the bad rap brand and the ventures he's got himself into. And
absolutely. It's been good.
Yeah, man. It's a great template to get those, kind of I don't want to say soft renderings, because you can use them as
just
your
like
final profile.
Rendering.
Yeah, you can use them as your finished profile, but it's so easy because they've got everything marked in your Photoshop files. All the folders are there. You know what I mean? It's just drag and drop, and it already crops everything out for you. It's so easy now when you have a program like that in your back pocket.
Yeah.
To use.
It's true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I usually use vehicle, what is it?
Vehicle outlines. Yeah, we use them too.
I've had really great luck with them, and you know what? It's a really small company. Really small company. The guy still makes all the templates by hand when they come out.
It's a lot of work.
It's a ton of work. You kidding me?
I hate doing that part.
Holy
I'll do the design part,
shit.
But that's a lot of work.
Man, it goes back to old school. Like, I used to take photographs, like straight on shots, and put them in Photoshop. Before like bad wraps was bad wraps, I was already kind of doing that.
Put some magnets on it.
Knock it out yourself, the backgrounds, and honestly, as a selling point of view, using the bad wraps would almost get you the job, like, sealed as far as a contract. It looks the most realistic. When you get a rendering where you get that, one-dimensional lines with like the pro vehicle outlines and stuff like that, you just don't get the concept of the body lines and like the shadows when it hits. You don't get to see that definition, man. And I feel like when you can render something on the vehicle, whether using a template or figuring out how to create your own template by taking photographs, dude, it sells itself 100%, man. I can't tell you, I've probably not sold a job using the vehicle. I'll use the vehicle template outlines for my finals, but to just get quick renderings or soft renderings to the client, just for teasers, like, hey, are we on the right track with this?
Yeah.
They're just blown away. They're like, holy shit, that's what my car looks like?
Yeah.
It just sells itself, dude.
It's true. And that's what I did with the Prius guy over here with all these Priuses. I used the bad wrap, and I had all the sides lined up. And, that was like, you really got the look of it. You can actually, at least for them, the client, they can see a visual of, oh, it's really going to look like that. Wow.
Right. Right.
Sometimes it's hard to get them to see the actual outcome, with just a template. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Some of our clients are just not design inclined.
Yeah.
You try to explain, but until they actually physically see it rendered, it brings everything to life for them, and they get more excited about the job,
Yeah, it's true.
And that's what sells, man. That's just amazing. How long did it take you to get your template 100% for your car? How many renditions did you have to go through?
Honestly, probably a ton. I don't even know how to put it. I started doing it, and it was kind of just in the spare time that I had then, and I was really just working on it and figuring it out. And I remember that's when I used the bad wrap, right? So they didn't even have a C43. They had like the C300 on there, but it was basically the same car, give or take a little bit of changes. But it was that definitely helped me guide me to see how correct that was on the scaling and everything. Cause that was, like I said, it was one of the first things I did. And I didn't understand the percentages, and it took me a little bit to figure out how to do it. But, it took a number of times to really get it right, I think we only wasted maybe like one full side when I originally did it that was just like totally off. And then, a hood, 2 hoods, I think when we did with the alignment, but everything else matched up like pretty good.
That's
so it wasn't,
bad.
I mean, the car came out fantastic. It actually lined up like really well by the time I was done with it. I had the design done for like a little while and I was kind of messing with it and just kept tweaking it before we actually had nothing going on in the shop. And I was like, all right, now it's time to work on the Mercedes.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, the shop car. Now, do you drive that? Is that your daily driver?
It's not, but pretty much. I mean, I drive it. I only live like 10 minutes away from work.
Nice.
So it's like I'm golden over here, but I pretty much drive it every day, honestly. But I have another car that I kind of scoot around in when I just don't feel like driving.
That's your stealth car to get through town. Nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody can see me in that camo. Yeah, you know? I'm hidden.
That's
absolutely.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, the car is great. I love that car. Absolutely. Are you kidding me? So
it's amazing.
It really is. It's come a long way. We'll see. I'm not sure what I have planned for it for, next show season. Cause the car show season is slowly coming to an end here now, but, I'm not entirely sure. It's I have mixed feelings about it cause a lot of people are really starting to get to know the car now. So now they like know of everybody sees the camo. They're like, I'm the only one who's got it. They don't know who I am and they know that's VRD, so I'm not kind of on the fence. Do I like change it or do I keep it? Cause I'm being a rap shop. I want to rap it like every year, I want to change something. Or come up with it. I think we will end up changing it, at some point, with some other sort of next level rap design as my artistic abilities seem to get better.
Yeah.
With the growth of the company. But, right now people know of it. It's pretty great, I do love that car.
Outdo yourself, man. Every year, do something better. Challenge yourself. You know what I mean? That's what's going to make you stand out. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. I put it in the Raps Like a King too. I didn't build it. I didn't build it for that. You know what I mean? We didn't wrap it for that. Really just, I liked the design. I knew it kind of was popular at the time. It's still popular, but, I really just did it just to practice and use for my own stuff, and it came out great. So I knew we weren't going to place anywhere and rap like a king, but I was like, hey, why not? It's worth a shot. Why not?
We end up just sticking it in there. You never know.
Free advertising, bro.
That's what we did. Yeah.
It's, having playful fun with your peers and, people get to know who you are too that may not be following you or know of you. But why not? You know what I mean? There's no harm, no foul in that.
Yeah.
Do you get into a lot of detail stuff like wrapping rims? I've seen this everywhere. And I know Tate just wrapped his rims with like reflective, which is like insane.
Yeah, I seen that.
Next level. Do you get into that and doing calipers and shit like that?
We do calipers. We do calipers here. Wheels we haven't done. I get some people that come in that want to do wheels, but it's almost unrealistic. Some of these like wheels that they have that they want to like, basically paint the whole thing, you know what I mean? But with wrap.
Right.
It's like, obviously I can't do that. You know what I mean? Would I do it? I guess I would. It just seems pretty time consuming,
A little bit. A little bit.
Maybe for my own stuff, if I had a particular job that we were doing for the client that I felt it would make a difference, we might do the faces or something to tie it in with the rest of the car.
Right.
But, we haven't done any wheels. We do calipers, obviously we do full vehicles, partial vehicles, trucks, commercial, and we really like topping everything off with Ceramic Pro as much as we can. Honestly, that's like one of our biggest, upsells as far as business goes, after finishing up a wrap,
Yeah, people are always looking for that extra care or,
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy, it's easy. It's good for us to put on. We make money on it. And then for the client, it just, man, for wrap in particular, it keeps it really nice for a really long time and it's super easy to keep clean.
Right.
I mean, I can't deny it. It works, which is why we use it, so that's, I don't know about the wheels. We have done here and there, but I don't know. Yeah, there's a gray area, I think, with the wheels. Calipers will do.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah. Have you outdone yourself a little bit on like the printing side of things, doing kind of what you've done with your Mercedes with someone else's car? Or is it kind of like the extent, like the craziest job you've done is your vehicle?
I probably say tying all together, my car is probably the craziest one we've done so far, because we did a lot. I mean, we wrapped the calipers on that thing. We did the full color change. You know, we did all the full chrome delete on it. Mm-hmm. The grill is like all billet silver diamonds. I mean, we blacked out every little diamond piece in the grill. Oof. You know, just super time consuming, all the details. The car was white originally. So we basically did a partial wrap, partial door jam on the thing, because we're in there like 3 or 4 inches, almost a whole door jam, because it's white. So right. It was like, oh man, you know, that was a lot of work to do that, you know. We definitely changed it up with the side skirts. I mean, we do all our own printing here. We print our biggest sale, I think, for material is we sell our own carbon fiber, our own gloss carbon fiber here.
Nice.
And that's printed. That, in my opinion, is the most realistic. Probably. And
I'm going to have to get a sample. I
will send you a sample. Believe me, I've had a lot of people tell me, superior. I mean, honestly, there aren't many gloss carbon fibers out there. You know, right. And nothing that looks really good. It took me quite a bit of time to actually finish the artwork enough where it looks super realistic.
Yeah.
And you know, you can't match everybody's, because there's so many different brands out there with carbon.
Yeah.
You know, they won't match perfectly, but you know, like I said, for ours in particular, and I've even shown with like all the Paint Instead guys in there, and everybody wants a sample. You know what I mean? Believe me, if you've seen it on our Instagram and you've seen the pictures of the carbon, it is definitely, in my opinion, the best carbon. And if I had a laminator that could laminate, I would sell it. But I don't have a laminator that can laminate, so
it's exclusive.
Doing big rolls is exclusive to VRD at this point. You know, I could do some, and I can go so big, but only so much in a row. Right. You know, and that's once again we run into the laminator issue. Back on that topic. You know,
unfortunately. I mean, I love that shops, excuse me, I love that shops kind of create their own brand and their own little, designs and kind of share it with everyone. Cause everyone, you know, I think, Chris from Wrappable has his own carbon fiber. That's really good. Mm-hmm. A lot of other people in the industry, Trish is starting to come out. Trish from We Print Wraps just came out with a whole nother color samples with camos and carbon fibers and stuff. Yeah, that's just amazing. You know what I mean? And it's just another aspect of the business that, you know, you wouldn't think that you could make money on, you know? Yeah. It's like, oh, you don't really, you know, you can go out and buy the carbon fiber. Yeah, great. You get that kind of, fabric feel to it.
Yeah, with the 3M texture.
Right. Or the Avery. It's just a lot of people like that almost gloss, like you said, that wet paint.
It looks like real carbon.
Yeah. It's just, like, I don't understand how none of the manufacturers have come out with something that
I don't know either.
Is to that, because everyone's begging for it.
I mean, so like SOT makes a pretty good one. It's actually not that bad. It definitely looks really good with the BMWs, because they have that sort of 1x1 pattern on them. So they look really close on those cars, but like anything else, it doesn't look anything like it, except it wouldn't match anything else that's on the car unless it was by itself. Right. You know what I mean? Ours is a 2x2 pattern. And, you know, and I confidently will say that I will put it up against anybody's printed carbon or whatever's on the market. Confidently.
Hearing it first on the All Wrapped Up podcast.
That's right. I will put it up against anybody.
We should have a carbon off. We should have a carbon print off.
I would agree with that.
Let's do it, man.
I have no problem doing that.
Let's, you know, I'm going to set that up. I'm going to put out on social media that everyone that has a printed carbon that DM me, I will send them my address, send me a small sample, and we'll hash it out. We'll talk about it.
I think we should.
Yeah. You know?
Yeah. I think we should.
Why not?
I agree with you there. Like I said, that has been one of the best things that I've ever done. It took me a while to actually get it right with the coloring and everything. It's a pain in the butt.
You created everything from scratch?
Everything from scratch. It's all my own vector from start to finish. The whole, so it's mine. Nobody's got it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's definitely, that's why it's exclusive to us, but, it is, to me, it is fantastic. I really have not seen anything closer. We do a lot of Mercedes work, especially for the local dealer. And, they sell the upgraded carbon packages for, the cars.
Right.
And that was really what triggered me off because like nothing looked good. So it's like, everybody wants these carbon packages, but they want like crazy amounts of money to, for the extra carbon package, So once I came up with this carbon package, it's like, hey, you want to spend like a quarter of the money? I'll just wrap all those pieces in carbon, you know? And that's really what set it off. And that's probably been my most, out of all the materials I sell, that's probably sold the most of my own printed carbon out of this place.
That's amazing.
So it's been really beneficial in thinking, in hindsight. Now it's really good. It's helped us out quite a bit with getting things done and we love it. Are you kidding me? Being able to print our own stuff and do custom finishes. I take that same pattern and I throw a matte finish on top of it. Now I got a dry carbon. You know what I mean? It loolooks way better than, 3M dry carbon. It actually looks like carbon.
Right. Right.
And it's still printed on Avery material. Still quality, top notch.
There you go. Is that your material of choice?
At this point it is. I go back and forth depending on certain jobs between 3M and, Avery. 3M has been good. If you talk about those glue lines, they're definitely way more glue liney than Avery.
Right.
So that has been a struggle to deal with for a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we use the IJ180, CV3. We're using all good stuff, and we get a little more lifespan, I think, with that one opposed to like the Avery.
Yeah.
But man, Avery just works so well. Stretchability, everything. It's really in the last few months we've pretty much switched over my media from 3M to Avery.
It prints really good on the latex too.
It's so nice.
Yes.
It really is. From printing to working with it, it's really made my job easier. Is really what it comes down to. And anything that makes my job easier, I'm all for.
Hell yeah.
So we've switched over. We still use it. Like I said, we have like a pretty big rig coming in, I don't know, maybe next week, I think. We're waiting for Skeppel to finish up a design on a truck and trailer that we got to wrap.
Nice.
But, and that we're actually going to put, that 3M on, just for longevity to get the years out of it, opposed to, doing the Avery. So on that one in particular, we will. But even like these Priuses that we're using, we just do full Avery, 1105. You know what I mean? We just wrap them, print them, done. It's super easy and they stretch really well. And then I don't get glue lines at all. Right. You know what I mean? So it's really good and I can't complain about it,
For sure, dude. Do you sub out some of your artwork when it's like really detailed stuff? Like you had just mentioned, like Skeppel's working on some stuff. Do you use Skeppel a lot for some intricate designs?
Yeah, I do. I do probably 90% of it myself.
Nice.
I guess I would say. So most of it is done through me. If somebody's looking for some sort of camo or, like the Priuses that we did or commercial, I can definitely get those done.
Right.
Fairly easily. The trailer that we're doing, we got like a brand new Dodge dually pickup 4-door and then a 50, it's a 54-foot, tri-axle trailer, race car trailer for a company. And it was one of those things where they wanted really sick, almost livery, but not looking just like a race car trailer. It's got to be, it looked like it had to be pretty detailed. And honestly, we have been like swamped over here for especially the last month. And I just knew I wouldn't have time to come up with like to sit behind the computer and do it. Yeah, and do it. So we use Skeppel for some of those crazy things. Like that job that we have coming in the next few weeks, pretty much as soon as he just sent us over, is almost a final render. So we're getting really close to the end on that. So the job will be fairly soon. We do have my dad actually has a 65 Buick Skylark, 2-door Skylark, twin turbo, fuel injected, 1400 horsepower, pump gas, you know. Yeah, it's his, you know, weekend warrior. He goes to all the same car shows that I go to. So he's done a whole bunch of work to that. That's like his baby, you know, so he's done that. And we're pretty much now is the time that we just started to actually strip this car down a bit because we're going to get ready to do like a full transformation on the outside of this thing with a custom wrap. We really have some good ideas. I haven't decided if I want Skeppel to do the design or if I want to just take the time to do the design. You know what I mean? That's like one of those things where next year you guys will see this thing. It's got plans for, you know, SEMA next year and definitely Rap Like a King. I think that car is going to be our entry. So we're thinking about that like now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
all the different, yeah.
Yeah.
We're thinking about that.
You gotta prep it, man, a whole year in advance.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. You can't do it last minute.
Oh no, we're prepping and it's going to be a handful. You know, they don't make a template for this car, of course. You know what I mean? So there's no doing that. So we'll have to figure that out or I'll have to create my own template. But that's going to be a winter project. You know, we got some body work to do on it. So there's still a little bit of time. You know, we're going to clean up the engine bay. But between going to SEMA with it next year and doing a bunch of stuff, it's really got to get to that show quality. And he turns heads now every time I go to these car shows. Because as soon as he pops the hood and people see like what's going on, I mean, it's all new technology and everything you can ask for in just an old body. You know what I mean? That's really what it comes down to.
That's amazing.
You know? Be able to show off both of our skills. You know, he's got his skill with custom fabricating. You know, even like the Mercedes, you know, the front lip and everything. I mean, we handmade all that.
Wow.
You know, everything that's on that car. So, you know, he made a diffuser for his, you know, it's kind of like a race car, but it's a street car. You know, he made a diffuser, he made a splitter. You know what I mean? We got some work to do on it, but that's our winter project that we're planning on. Like I said, I'm not sure if I want Skeppel to do it. I've created, that car is called the Enforcer. That's it. The Enforcer. Yeah. That's the name. And I've actually created, a guy already who represents the Enforcer. He's pretty badass. He's kind of like a mix between the Predator and, you know, some turbos and some scoops, and it's cool. I won't give too much away.
Yeah.
You guys will see it. But, we haven't totally, I'm still, man, picking this out, like how I want to design this car has really been beating me up because I'm not entirely sold on what I want to do yet.
Yeah. With
it. And I know like where we want it to go down the road. So I'm really, you know, what our choices now I think are going to matter. So I'm not sure yet, but that's a really cool project that will probably be our next best project I think that we've done, in this place, you know, coming up in the future.
Oh, I can't wait to see what that looks like.
Yeah, it's definitely going to pop.
That's amazing. I mean, that's so cool that you can work with your dad. I mean, you've worked with him so long now. Is he kind of one of your biggest influencers? Oh
yeah, absolutely. I mean, luckily, you know, thankfully, we have a great relationship, him and I.
Yeah.
And we can work together, so it works. You know, I'm a good listener, but I also enforce, and he knows, you know, I'm CEO around here, but, you know, he's still dad. You know, his name is Pops.
That's
awesome.
Everybody
calls him Pops, or they call him the Doctor.
The
got
Doctor.
two names around here, yeah. But yeah, honestly, I just feel blessed. It really comes down to that. I've even had him to, be able to help around, and, you know, he loves what I'm doing. It's all about my dreams. And honestly, if you really look at it, because the market for performance and, you know, that stuff, it's really tough, and it's a small market. With people spending on super materialistic, you know, building motors and race cars and all that stuff. People aren't just spending that money. It really relies on the economy.
Right.
And, I think when I sort of proposed, like I knew what I wanted to do, and he wanted to come along with me and make it happen. That's really what made a difference, because it opened up so many doors, you know, with doing vinyl. I mean, you're talking small businesses, commercial guys, any companies, schools, dealerships. I mean, you know, the market is so big that you can even have more sign shops and wrap shops, and nobody's running out of work. It's really what it comes down to, in my opinion, you know?
Right.
So, you know, went from like a really niche business before to sort of brought a way bigger audience to be able to just bring in work. And, I think he enjoys it quite a bit. Like I said, he's got his lifts, so he gets to tinker with his toys, and he also gets to make me some money when he wants, you know? So it works out for everybody at the moment, but he's seen, you know, honestly, I will say the growth in just the last 6 months in particular have been definitely fantastic. We hope to just continue to, you know, grow. We definitely want to, you know, stand out from the rest. And that's really all we try to do with, you know, our wrap jobs and, you know, what we offer within the shop. And like I said, with the carbon fiber. And these are just all little things I think that add up that just sort of separates us from your, you know, your standard wrap shop, you know.
For sure. For sure. What do you think the next step for you, you know, given that you've, you know, had the shop for a year, what do you think the next step is for you now, looking at, you know, how good the business is doing, your vision is there, you know, what do you think the next kind of big thing's going to be for you business wise?
You know, we got big dreams, that's for sure. I think the thing we have going on with YouTube, so be sure to check that out when we launch it, but it's coming up very soon. I think that is probably the next big thing for us, as far as marketing, being able to just show people wrap and installs and what goes around the shop and, you know, the fun side of us. And, you know, even though it's business, I think that will sort of open up the business quite a bit. But we have big dreams for, like, you know, SEMA next year and a bunch of different, you know, shows that we plan to go to that I think will definitely change our path a bit. Like I said, we've grown a lot, but we haven't been, I mean, we've been to car shows, and I went to RapsCon with, you know, my family and a bunch of people. And, you know, I go out and I'm always trying to up my game every day. You know, what's new, what's hot, like what are people interested in? What can I do to make the business better? I mean, like I said, you just working on like nonstop around here just to get it going. And it's one of those things where you can't really slow down.
No.
You know, you have to keep going.
Right.
And, you know, we definitely have big things. I think, like I said, with, being able to get big enough where I can take the bay next door to us, that will definitely open up another side of the business to be able to push out enough work. I really love to get people in here, but I mean, we get a ton of work, and believe me, I keep myself busy, but until I really feel like I cannot perform, you know, to the max, and I just have too much going on.
Right.
That's really when I'll get somebody in here. I think that's also another thing that we're looking into, whether it be, I don't know if I would want an installer or maybe a designer. We haven't totally made up my mind. But you know, I work my butt off, but until I feel really swamped to the max where I'm just overloaded, I don't think we'll put anybody in here yet. But, that's probably the long term. If you really got to think about like the dream and what we're trying to achieve is to really have a full-fledged wrap shop in here, you know, with just people hustling, multiple printers, you know, people just designing and printing all day long, right? That's the dream.
Right.
Just making money all day long, you know, but you need to work for that. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. You got to put in a lot of time, a lot of hours, and, you know, building, you know, 1 year goals every year, kind of upping yourself. You know, next year we're going to do XYZ. Following year we're going to do ABC. You know, it's setting yourself up with goals. I mean, for me, excuse me, when I was starting my own business, I never gave myself goals. I just went year by year, and I just let things kind of roll the way it did. You know, I would grow, you know, 20% one year. I'd grow 30% the next year. And then I would never set goals for myself. I never thought like, you know, hey, you know, next year I want a bigger shop, or next year I want to have an employee. And, you know, you get so kind of caught up with the business side of things, running the business, doing the billing, doing the installs, doing the designing. Mm-hmm. Years go by. Not that you're not making money, because obviously you are if you're there all the time, you're working, mm-hmm. Bills are getting paid, nobody's knocking at your door looking for late payments.
Yeah.
You're doing good, you know what I mean? But you lose sight of the future. Like, where do you want to take this? Where do you want to go? And I think a lot of us have to talk a little bit about that. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, I understand.
Write it down on a vision board or set goals. It's just so tough. Like you said, those years go by, those months, October 1 was just a couple weeks ago. We're halfway through the month.
Yeah, Christmas isn't like 2 months practically.
Dude, don't even get me started. You know what I mean? Way too soon for that. But, it's the new year is right around the corner.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you going to do next year? 2019 is creeping up. What's going to be the new thing? Who's going to come up with it? What are you going to do? What's going to be the game changer? What are you going to do with your business? And
I don't know. Did you see that 60-inch chrome?
Dude,
that seems like like the next big thing.
Don't even get me started. I just gotta
throw that out there right now.
Bro, I just saw the video before we fucking started talking and I'm like, I gotta figure out a segue into that question. But I watched the video and I'm like, oh, whatever. And then it said 60-inch chrome. And I'm like, what? 60-inch chrome?
Mm-hmm.
Game. Thank you, 3M. Finally. I don't even know why they didn't come out with that in the beginning.
I don't know either.
What was so hard? Makes no
sense to me. Yeah.
What was so hard about making it 60 inches? Come on. 48? What the fuck is that gonna do? Jesus.
To me, it's a business tactic. If you think about anything else,
they kept us on the hook all year.
That's what it is, right? You gotta start
upping the game a little bit. You guys figure out how to seam that shit. You know what I mean? You gotta buy more. You gotta buy more.
Yeah.
And now they figured, oh shit, we've sold a lot of it. Let's just make it 60 inches. No problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we've already gone over the Chrome is already last year's news. You know what I mean? Chrome is whatever. Yeah. Now you're coming out with 60.
Now it's revamped again. Absolutely.
Now what's going to happen? Now they're going to come out with different laminates that are going to be 60 inches to do different textures, different looks, different, layers. You have to keep renovating and evolving and coming out with new stuff. I mean, I don't know.
I'm excited about it. I'm waiting for somebody to come in here who wants, just a 60-inch.
Dude, it's not even anywhere near my market. 60-inch chrome material. I don't even, I don't even want to know what the price is on it.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the price yet.
Just, we're putting the cart in front of the horse a little bit right now because we don't know what the price is going to be. Could it be more to manufacture? Probably.
I would think so.
Absolutely. How much of a difference from the 48 to 60 does that make?
Maybe, yeah. You know what it is? What was I watching? Oh, who was that? I was talking to somebody. Maybe it was one of the Pain is Dead shops. I was talking to them and somebody was already messing with it or something like that and they were telling me.
Oh, there's probably beta. There's probably beta rolls out there trying to figure it out.
Yeah. And as far as I was told, it works really well. It conforms well. They're like, I'm not even going to use the Avery one anymore. This thing it's easier to use, So I'm like, that's pretty impressive. I could imagine that they're gonna push it and they're gonna come out with all the colors and hopefully they do.
I wish they would come out with something that was less scratchy. If that's the case, in the 60
inch, it scratches less.
Too.
That's what they said.
Beautiful. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I
you
mean?
can never avoid it. We'll steam them. We steam them and we'll clean them up afterwards. And that's why we put Ceramic Pro and everything.
Yeah.
Right now, especially on chrome. Man, ceramic coat that thing. Then you never have to worry about it. But so with the initial squeegee scratches, you're almost impossible.
Oh my God.
You can't not have scratches on it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the invention, the shit that we use, man, it's just phenomenal. Like I've seen, Albert using a orange peeler, the back of an orange peeler as a little tuck tool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We're pulling out steamers to steam our clothes to wrap cars.
Oh yeah.
It's phenomenal. The things that are coming out of the woodworks to apply stuff in our industry. It's just amazing that anybody
you find a way, right? Yeah.
Hey, when there's a will, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You got to find, hey, why not use heat instead of a heat gun or, an IR heater is probably your best bet. Getting that thing fully soft evenly is that alone, taking that from the auto body repair shops and paint shops into the industry, man.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. The way
IR heaters are definitely
game changer.
big. Yeah, they're big.
Game changer. Post heating, you could post heat a whole panel in 3 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like the whole, like sections, a whole quarter panel, a whole door, whole driver's door, whole quarter panel, front fender, a whole bumper. Like, That's
what they're good for.
Oh my God, the time. Yeah, is your light bill probably gonna go up?
Yeah.
Is
your job gonna come back? No.
Exactly. What's it worth? What's it worth to you? Yeah,
exactly.
You didn't get that corner for some reason. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but I just love the way that every year something new out of the blue comes out, and it's like, damn, I wish I would have thought about that.
Yeah,
like,
it's true. I think about it all the time when you're coming out, especially when I make my own little tools and stuff. I'm like, I should sell this.
Right.
Make this a product. This is a
great
little tool.
Right.
Yeah. You know, cause you always make it well. You should see me. Mercedes, I went to Mercedes-Benz dealership the other day to do some like, frosted glass on the windows. And I was like, my job, cause I don't have it. We wouldn't do like a ton of windows or like a ton of big stuff. I was like, I want like a big squeegee to, put this thing down like quick, And I was like, I've seen Yellow Tools and everybody, but they all sell these like big squeegees but they're like kind of expensive for these big squeegees. So the morning of, I was with my dad. I was trying to think of something last night. Like, what could I use? I went upstairs. I got the little trim molding. I was hanging up a little 2-inch trim molding. I was sitting over there. I cut it to like one to like 32 inches, the other like 28 inches. Put a big buffer down the whole end of it. It was nice and grooved. Fit my hands nice. Worked perfectly.
Wow.
Worked perfectly. It was like one of now I got two wooden squeegees with a little bit of flex in them too, because it's just a molding. They're not super thick like a plywood. I got a little bit of flex. Got a buffer end on it. And man, we banged out these windows. And I was like, there you go.
Amazing.
That's a problem solver right there,
Bro, I'll have to turn you on to the bill collector if you don't have one.
No, what is that? What's the bill collector?
Oh man, you have a Feller's book?
Yeah.
Right in there in the tools section, bro. Bill collector.
Bill collector. Okay.
Dude, it is like, it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's almost like a paintbrush. It's got a nice rubber handle, round rubber handle. I don't know, maybe 6-7 inches long. And it's got, a thick, kind of screwed in top where you put the felt, the square felt squeegees.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
One of those long ones in there. I don't know how long it is, so don't quote me on it, but it's pretty wide. Dude, ripping square footage with that.
Yeah.
Wall murals, frosted windows. Dude, I'm telling you, if you could pick one up, you're gonna rip through
I'll
that.
look into it because I got that trailer. Like I said, I got that trailer that's coming up. That's really what I was like, I got this.
It's exactly, and I'm sure that now, we all cringe a little bit, but is the trailer smooth?
It's got rivets.
Okay. But that's fine.
It's got rivets. But they're small. They're rivets.
Rip through it with the bill collector. And then roly pearl the fucking rivets.
Mm-hmm, which is, that's exactly what we do.
Dude, you're gonna rip through it quick. It's like $65 or whatever. But I can guarantee you,
like
dude.
The enormous squeegee with a broom. It's like a broom squeegee.
Yeah, dude. It's just like I don't even know how to explain it. I can tell you.
Kind of sounds like a broom squeegee.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's almost like the ones they use for window cleaning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With the felt, those big, wide, kind of square felt squeegees at the top. Dude, game changer. I haven't picked one up yet, and I don't know what I'm waiting for, but I think I've already mentioned it.
You're selling me on it, and you're not even have
Bro,
one yet.
I mentioned it on the last podcast with Kelly. We were like going on, and I could hear her like doing one of these, right? I could hear it going. And I'm like, what are you looking through the Feller's book now? She's like, yeah, how did you know? And I'm like, I could hear you ripping through it trying to find it. You know what I mean? And I thought for some reason in my mind, I thought it was more money. And she had mentioned, she was like, oh, it's like $65. And I'm like, oh my God, I could buy 2 of them. Yeah. It's just, dude, it's such a great tool. And I think it was, Masters of Branding member that created it. Don't quote me on it, but I'm almost positive that's what it was. But who turned me onto it was Chucky Cordy up in Canada. He told me about it. He's like, dude, walls, I'm using it for these trailers we're wrapping. I'm doing 53-foot trailers, I think it was. He's doing every panel in under like 5 minutes or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, he's ripping through them. You know what I mean?
Look, I'm gonna definitely look into it.
It's just amazing. You know, and they're replaceable. You buy a new felt squeegee and you put it in. But, you know, the grip, it's got that nice soft grip. So in your hand, it's not uncomfortable. And, and I don't get any royalties or anything out of selling the bill collector.
Yeah.
But it's such
you wish.
I mean, dude, I'm all about everybody, man. Any type of product that's out there that I'm super like fanboy on, I will talk the shit out of it because I think.
So what's your opinion? What's your opinion on your favorite wrap glove? That's what I always like to know. Do you use gloves? Use gloves?
I do use gloves. And I'm a wrap glove guy. It's just, you know, I've used them all.
I want to know. What about the wrap glove? So which one you got a favorite? I'm sure you got one.
Just the OG wrap glove. The OG yellows. The yellow ones.
Yellows. Okay.
Yeah. The original wrap glove. I mean, that's my favorite. I've used them. I've used a lot of them in the market. The only one that I haven't had my hands on is the newest one, that the only distributor in the US market is up in Canada. He's selling down in the US. It's that new, it's like a gray glove.
The one that you can like cut? That like won't cut through your hand?
I don't know.
Have you seen the?
Ooh, I don't know.
Maybe wrap gloves makes that. It's almost like a gray. I was watching a video on Instagram.
Yes, it's kind of
really thick.
Yes. I forget who makes it. It's
I don't know. Yeah, I've seen
SID, I think, or something like that.
I seen a video that was today too. That they were like taking a knife and they were like trying to cut their hand with it and it wasn't going through.
Ooh, I didn't know about that one, but I'll tell you.
It's like a gray. It almost looks like a wool, sort of.
Really? Yeah, I'm a wicked just regular wrap glove. Yellow wrap glove. You can wash them. They just last long for me. I've had an old one for a very long time, and it's worked out forever. And I've tried them all. I've tried the Pro Series. Love Pro Series. For me, durability wise, it just isn't there for me. You know, I just feel like I don't get as much time with the glove than I wish I did. But I've used the Avery ones they've had back in the day. I used the Geek Wrap ones.
Avery's are pretty good. Avery's are pretty good.
It's very thin. It's very, very thin.
Yeah. You can feel pretty good though. You can feel a lot more. I feel like you go through them quick.
Yeah, you definitely go through them quick. And I'm all about durability, you know what I mean? I'm all about longevity. How much, I mean, cause the gloves, you pay, $15-20 or whatever.
Yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah, I mean, how long can you have it for? How long's too long?
Yeah.
I don't think there's like a happy medium to longevity of it. But for me, dude, I have to tell you, like, the wrap glove, I've had a few wrap gloves, and I've used one for the past, I don't know, almost 3 months. No rips, no tears, no stress out of it. I've washed it once already. I just,
pretty good.
Yeah, I don't mind change. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind change. I'll try anything once. Depends what it is.
I always like to know what wrap glove people prefer. It's like I always like to ask, Yeah. Like, which one do you like? Because I've had some are thicker than others. Some people I think like to feel more. Some people don't really care about feeling because how much do you wear it? What do you wear it for?
Exactly.
You're not wrapping the whole car with the wrap glove, but
I've seen it. I've seen people put a wrap glove on and not take it off the whole install.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is. But,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I mean, do you really have to have it all the time? Probably not. You know what I mean?
Not. To each their own.
To each their own. Exactly.
It's true. What I would like them to have like a really nice pouch. You know, it's one of the big topics I think for me is pouches, because I haven't found anything that is really like small enough yet big enough to utilize all the important stuff that I want to use on an install, you know, without getting in the way or magnetically, connecting to the car.
Right.
Or, you know, there's all kinds of issues I run in with. You know what? Right now I just run like a fanny pack. I'll be honest with you.
Fanny pack, going old school, kid.
Like I got an old retro fanny pack.
Get the fuck out of here.
Sits on my back, you know, I just keep it back there. I kind of turn it around when I need something.
Dude.
I just put it right in the back so it's not in the way.
Bro,
you know?
How do you not have a picture on Instagram of this?
I don't know. You know what it is? It's only me and Dad, so it's tough for people. I need someone else to take the picture.
Have Dad take it, man. Pops is there. Dad, take a picture of my fanny pack, please. Dude, bro, I'm telling you, like, you made my day now, because I'm a wicked fanny pack fucking guy, bro. I'm bringing it back. I don't give a fuck. You know what? I'm a dad of 2 children. You know what I mean? Like, my oldest is 12 and my youngest is going to be 7. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? I'll walk out with my fanny pack. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, sweatpants. Dude, I got all my shit in it. I don't care. Nothing's falling out. What? You need a couple dollars? Get in my fanny pack. Boom, boom, boom. You know what I mean? Like, dude, who the fuck wants to go in your pockets, dude? Because, bro, I've got an iPhone. The iPhone alone is too much in my fucking pocket. Throw that shit in the fanny pack on my wallet. Maybe a couple other accessories, bro. And you know what? My little daughter, she's got a peanut allergy. So, like, we'll go out to eat a lot. And, you know, sometimes I tend to forget, you know, my daughter has a peanut allergy, blah, 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 blah. So I carry her, EpiPen in it. Where the fuck am I going to put an EpiPen in my pants? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you.
It's going to look weird. So.
I get you.
It's got a purpose, bro. And, you know, I'm a wicked Joe Rogan fan. And I bought in. I know he wears a fanny pack. Bro, I bought that leather fanny pack. Dude, $125?
Wow.
It's a fucking nice fanny pack, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck it. I won't be putting blades in it, but I'll take one of my old school ones, the nice fabric ones out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
Dude, that's amazing. I love that, dude.
Yeah. No, that's what we did. You know what it is? Cause the pouches and all the other stuff, I don't know. They don't have any, they're expensive too. Some of them are either too big or they're too much money. And, you know, I don't need every tool sitting in this fanny pack, you know, like everything I own to wrap this car. Yeah. It's like, I just need the right tools, and then I just need it to not get in my way.
Right.
Too.
Right.
You know, it's like always all these other ones, you know, like, even,
how convenient,
like Geek Wraps has it, right? Cause I went over there. So I got like their magnetic one that they gave me when I went for like the class and stuff.
Yeah.
And their squeegees. And their squeegees are nice too. I do like their squeegees.
For sure.
And the magnet idea is cool, but like.
You gotta wear the fucking belt with it.
Yeah, well, yeah, forget about that. Now you need the belt, or you're gonna stick it to the side of the car, or you're gonna hit the car, it's gonna scratch the car. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to me. It's a very good setup, minus the whole magnet thing. If they just took the magnet and put it on a clip, I would even as expensive as it is, I would buy into it just because I know the durability is there. Cause these fabric ones, dude, you get a blade through it. It's gonna be shit. The leather ones will last way longer. Yeah. I still got it here, you know. I don't use it that much, but you know, that was like one of the things, you know, you can talk about tools and stuff like that. These pouches are tough. That's why I just stick with the fanny pack. Like flip it around. It doesn't get in my way. Never hit nothing with it.
Is it just, it's a straight 1-zipper, 2-zipper type setup?
Yeah, exactly. And then I just put it like right now, I'll just keep it on my back while I'm working on something and I'm wrapping. It's not in the way. And then I kind of flip it on the front. If I need something, flip it around.
Dude.
You know? Cause otherwise I get lost. You know how lost I get? I put it in pockets. I put them in the hoodie pockets.
Yes.
And then I put it in my back pocket. And then all of a sudden I put one down. And then I'm like, where is all my knives and all my blades and everything?
You spend more time sticking your hands in your pockets trying to find what you need than just having it in a fanny pack. Dude, Bro, we have to bring it back, man. If there's any fucking product out there that needs to be created, it's a fanny pack fucking pouch.
Called the fanny wrap pack?
Fanny wrap pack. You hear it first. You heard it. You heard it first, dude.
Exactly.
Fanny wrap pack. Fuck. Dude, I can't even air this. I'm too hyped up. When we get off the fucking recording, we gotta like brainstorm now. We gotta put little tiny fucking knife fucking little Velcro things in it or some shit. The fucking dude, what?
I should get one made now you really think about it, you know.
Bro.
I don't know if anybody would actually wear it. I mean I wear it.
Money well spent. Bring it back, bro. We're 80s babies, right? No, wait. You're 28?
I was born in 90, but I'm
close enough.
I'm basically an 80s baby.
You're close enough. Oh, man. Is it, okay, so Tommy, is it colorful or you just got a straight black one?
Oh, no, it's like retro. So I got purples, greens. It's like old retro. Probably like, I guess like 80s. Bro. It's old. It's not like a new one. It's like one that like in my parents or something had. I don't know. I've just had it.
Yeah, it's been passed down generation to generation, hasn't it? Tell me the fucking truth, dude.
Yeah,
come
I mean,
on.
that's all, then nobody wears them, so I took it. It
dude,
looked good to me.
Come on. Dude, when this airs, okay, you're gonna have to follow up after posting the episodes out. You're gonna have to post up a picture of your fanny pack, bro.
All right. We'll make it happen.
We'll make it happen.
Take a picture.
You're gonna have Pops take that picture.
That's it.
For sure.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. I think that's the best. You know, I've had this conversation about pouches and how people wear their gear and what they do and how they wear it. And not one person said fanny pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I keep it original. You know what I'm saying?
OG, dude. I know one person that wears fanny pack and wears it often, and that is Jess from Vinyl Fixin'. She wears a fanny pack.
She does wear one too, yeah.
Give her props.
She got a colorful one, I think, over there.
Yeah, it's like,
it's purple, like, I'm trying to remember what it looks like.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think she's got ones that match her leggings all the time. Mm-hmm. She's got something different. Super cool.
She does have a fanny pack too, that's right.
Yeah. I mean,
she does great work over there. I loved her. I loved all the videos and everything she posts up.
Oh yeah, they're doing amazing work, man.
Yeah.
They're stepping up their game and, you know, educating a little bit, you know what I mean? And getting into the YouTube market and sharing.
Which is a big market.
It is a huge market. Huge market. Yeah. I think if you have the resources and the time to put into it, it could be beneficial. 100%.
Well, I say like I don't have the resources or the time, but I make it happen.
You make it happen.
You have to do something. Mm-hmm. You know? You gotta try.
You gotta be different.
That's right.
That's the name of the game.
That's true.
All right, Mark, dude, I want to be so respectful of your time. We've been talking for a little over 2 hours. It's been great. Dude, I want to ask you, what does VRD stand for?
All right, VRD is Vehicle Revision Designs. So that's sort of where we kind of went with it. Nobody really knows that. You're probably like the first person to know that, honestly, because nobody ever asked.
Nobody ever asked that?
Nobody ever asked what VRD stands for, but Vehicle Revision Designs.
That's awesome.
Is what it stands for. So now people will know. But
everybody's gonna know now.
Yeah. Nobody asked. You know, I don't. Yeah.
Well, it had to mean something. You know what I mean? I mean, naming your brand. You know what I mean? Given that you're in the rap industry and you didn't go like the rap way, you know what I mean? VRD raps.
VRD raps, yeah.
You went custom, which is completely different. And it's nice because, you know, a lot of us, it's tasteful and it opens up what you're doing, which is, you know, the mechanic side of things and the air suspension and like you do more than just raps.
We do, yeah. And that was really like the thing, you know, I don't want to just be VRD raps and then people think you're just raps.
Right.
You know? We're not just raps, you know. I promote just raps, but we're not just raps, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know, and if you don't, hey.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is.
That's how we pretty much run that section of my business. But like I said, I just love doing raps or commits. So I really just focus on those things that I do best, which is just rap, clear bra, and I do ceramic pro as, you know, the little upper there, but that's what we focus on. We felt it was a pretty fitting name, kind of, revising vehicles and doing design. I mean, I sort of just like brainstormed it when we came up with it because it was tough, we went through a bunch of names.
Oh, I can imagine. Did you have any like off the cuff that you remember that you had?
Not really. I mean, honestly, it could have been like, you could utilize my name with wraps or like MB wraps or like, there was a whole bunch. We did something VRD graphics too, but then it's like really just, customs seemed like pretty fitting because it's, everything's custom, right? I mean, from the exterior to whatever else we're doing. And that's sort of where like my dad's Buick will come into play, right? Besides my Mercedes, which is just wrapped.
Right.
People really look at that thing and say, man, the fabrication level on this thing is like insane. And once we put the wrap on it, it's like the whole package, and, we're not really sitting here to promote, the mechanical side and custom side of it, but, we tell people that, it's endless,
Right.
Your imagination is the only limit. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
When it comes to wraps. So yeah, that's our business. We have a great time over here. We love what we do, and we just try to grow a little bit bigger every day. Keep pushing.
That's it,
gotta
man.
Keep pushing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Mark, complete pleasure talking to you, bro.
Absolutely. Likewise.
This has been so great. Is there anything that you might want to bring up that we didn't bring up during our conversation, or?
No, I think we're pretty good. We covered a lot of topics.
For sure.
I think we covered a lot of topics. I mean, honestly, it was an honor to come on your show. I think I remember, seeing you around there too at RapsCon. I remember seeing you over there. That was really like when I went in and started talking to Austin from Pain is Dead over there. That's really what triggered it right after that. Because there was some other shops and stuff that were in our limits around here. So it kind of, we kind of worked it out and figured it all out. I think that was, like I said, that's sort of a milestone for me, was getting involved with the Pain is Dead. That's going to be fantastic for the future. And, I mean, like I said, look out for the YouTube and Instagram and everything else going on. We got a lot of really cool projects still to come within the next month or two. And, even that trailer we got going on, I mean, once you see like what Skeppel designed for this big rig, you might be blown away. It's gonna be a cool project.
Oh, I can't wait, man.
We're excited, and it really was an honor to be on the show. I appreciate you even thinking of us.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, like I've said numerous times on the show, whether you're a veteran, you've been in the game for 20 years, whether you've been in the game for 1 year, I want to get the opportunity to talk to everybody because everyone's got a different story, got a different outlook in the industry and what they're doing in different, areas, West Coast, East Coast, whatnot. And like I said, the journey, I appreciate you taking us through the journey, telling us your experiences, letting us in, being vulnerable, talking about everything, man. And I just love walking through, the start, how you started, where you've gone through, where you're at now. I just love walking through those steps with you and kind of reminiscing, having fun, having some laughs, talking about the struggles. I mean, that's what it's all about at the end of the day. And I think that's what everybody levitates to when they listen. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. And to know that we're not the only ones going through certain struggles or going through a certain, kind of, I don't know, sort of predicament in their life.
Yeah, I get
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just to know that you're not the only one going through that one struggle or that lull, that everybody's going through it. It kind of eases things a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's true. Like I said, we're still young as far as business goes. We definitely have big plans, and I think we're on the right track, and we have I have all the right resources here to get things done. So we just hopefully down in the future, we just keep pushing and things get bigger and better. And we love collaborating with people and working with other companies and doing everything else. So there's going to be a lot of that, I think, this year. What's to come with VRD.
For sure. So, you guys are definitely killing it, dude. Definitely.
Appreciate that very much.
Well, Mark, let everybody know where they can follow you on your social media accounts.
That's right. So Instagram is just at VRD Customs. Our Facebook, facebook.com/VRD Customs. You can follow us there. Website is VRDcustoms.com. Pretty simple. And, our YouTube is the same thing, VRD Customs. So follow us on all those, subscribe. We got lots of good content that is, ready to hit the internet for sure. And there's some projects that we've done that we've had to hold back on exposure. So we're just waiting to blast out at the moment, but things are looking good. So we appreciate the following and, things are going great,
Awesome. Mark, appreciate you, dude. I wish you and Pops well for 2018 for the rest of the year, brother.
Absolutely. I appreciate that. And I will admit, I love the accent, man. The Boston accent.
You're pretty close, I will do man.
That. I will. Boston, no?
You got a little bit.
Yeah. Me, I was born in New York. So I got a little bit. I'm a little different. I'm Northeast now.
Oh, damn. So are we going to get into like the Yankees kind of Boston rival?
No. We're not going to get into that.
Are you on the red side or are you on the blue side?
Oh, I'm a Yankees fan.
Oh no!
Sorry.
Thank
buddy.
God we're at the end of the end of the show has passed, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely,
dude, amazing, bro. I appreciate that, and
Absolutely.
Thanks for taking the time out of your day, bro. I really appreciate this. And
no problem. I had a lot of fun. Are you kidding me?
Oh, it was a blast.
I always sit down and talk rap.
Oh. I could go for another 2.5 hours if I.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome, brother. Again, thank you so much, bro, and we'll see you on the other side.
I appreciate that.
What's up, everybody? Hope you enjoyed this episode of the All Wrapped Up podcast. Hit that rank button and review, and to stay up to date with future podcasts, hit that subscribe button. Till next time, folks. That's a wrap.